Well, we made it, everybody. Happy Friday to you from your pals. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, TGIF. So happy that it's Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. And then next week, boy, we will get it cranked up. We'll actually be cranking our hog all next week, I'm assuming, and watching some Padres baseball, playoff baseball, as it were. Great to be here with you. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
I noticed that you're wearing the City Connect hat because tonight will be the official end of the mint green and pink City Connect hat. I was talking about it with Hannah this morning before I left, and I said it's hard to believe that it's over. My kids have run through 30 of those each, and we actually at one point, I think if you added it all up, she bought somewhere between 85 and 100 of those hats to dole out to people, give as gifts.
Actually,
like literally,
I remember.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like she was a hoarder of those hats. And they're
every kid in Encinitas got
there's no question. At Mint Green City Connect hat. And it's an end of an era here. Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Morning, Benjamin.
Good morning. Yeah, the Padres announced details on how it's going to work yesterday. If you're going to the game, on your way out, you can drop off your City Connect merchandise. They'll have bins set up.
Yeah.
If you're not going to the game, it's a little more complicated. They're going to have drop-off locations throughout the county, or you can mail it back at your convenience, but you will have to pay for your own postage. So
self-addressed stamped envelope.
By the end of the weekend, everyone has turned in their City Connect merchandise.
It's time.
As they will be no more.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. I'm going to miss them a little bit. I am. I'm going to miss them a little bit. I'm
kidding, everybody. You can still keep
people
the City
will
Connect.
believe you.
For a second, you had at the very start. I was like, "You serious?
You can keep.
You serious, Clark?
You can keep your City Connect merchandise.
Serious, Clark?
And they've apparently already designed the new ones. Joe Musgrove says he's seen them. I think he said they're tight. They're a little more.
He said they're a little more basic.
Basic, not quite as
meaning
over the top.
I didn't really like these. I'm ready to see the new ones.
I'm surprised. Woods usually has an inside track on just about everything.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I
also have one.
I just haven't shared it.
You have seen it.
I haven't seen it.
No. You've
but
got
I've heard
some
about
details.
I heard some details.
I have no details. I have not seen anything. I don't know what's coming next year.
I may have talked to somebody at Nike. I don't know.
I may have a source as well that has clued me in on potentially what they will look like. And let me tell you, from what I heard, as soon as I heard it, I went, oh, yes. Yes.
I'm excited.
So with these, when these came out, I remember I was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I was out of town. And I came back and they had dropped off our jerseys. And I remember the day I saw the jerseys, I went, oh, no, that's not for me. That's not for me. That's not for us. Pasty, white, chubby dudes.
And you're still right.
And I'm still right. Then I got the hat and I go, okay, finally. I put the hat on. I go, okay,
feels right.
I can rock this. Because I'll tell you, the brown has always been hard for me to mix with the clothes. I wear a lot of black. So I'm like, I can wear black pants, black shirt, and that hat. I feel 100% going to the ballpark.
Black pants, black sweatshirt.
That's it. That's it. So the hat I loved. The jersey was never really for me. I remember when we went to fantasy camp and we had them, and I remember putting it on in the locker room going, now I know what Matt Williams feels like. Now I know what Bob Melvin feels like. Now I know what Mike Schilt feels like. Do you think that they stood in front of their locker before games and they were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now, again, Manny looks amazing. Toddy looks amazing. Ramon Laureano looks amazing. Anybody that is not pasty, skinny, white looks great in them. But for guys like us, LO, I've seen wear it. I'm like, it's not for us. It's not for us. So I'm excited for the new ones. If it is,
for me, I liked them. I liked these uniforms because really looking across baseball, there weren't too many teams where they absolutely nailed it. I thought at least there were some. You're like, is that really a City Connect? Like it looks kind of the same as their regular.
It looks kind of the same.
And then there were other ones. You're like, that looks terrible.
Yeah. I mean, look, this isn't a shop, but I didn't think the Dodgers City Connect was all that great. It had like the little the little confetti on it. I was like, you guys could do better. You're the Dodgers. I thought, there were some that were really good. I liked the Boston yellows. I thought those were really slick. I like the White Sox. I just saw when the White Sox played the Michael Jordan ones. I thought those were so cool. So I'm excited, man, to see what it looks like in the next iteration. But again, let's do it like we do on this show for City Connects.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace.
Me too.
When already things are so difficult. So shout out to its family.
Shout out to its family. Listen, we said it when it happened. Well, we said it about 6 months later, because when it happened, I go, man, I just don't know if people are going to dive into this thing. You couldn't keep them on the shelves. You couldn't. And mostly you couldn't keep them on the shelves because my wife bought them all. But that means that they're sold. They do get sold. There was a shortage. People, I would see it all the time. Like, anybody know where I can get a snapback City Connect? I'm like, well, I have one for you. My wife has it. We'll just give it to you. But they couldn't keep them on the shelf. So again, great job. Great job by Padres marketing and whoever does that stuff, because they knocked it out of the park. They knocked it out of the park.
I saw the question being asked. So when will they reveal the new ones?
Good question.
There's no specific date, but as I understand it, at some point during the offseason, they will drop a little teaser,
little nugget,
like some sort of like color. You'll get a post somewhere that'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting," but it won't be the whole thing. And then at some date right before the year, they will do a full reveal and probably like fashion show type event where everyone can see them for the first time officially.
Yeah, it was a really good run, but I bet you there are some players that are like, phew, okay. And look, they went for it. They popped. We did get made fun of by other fan bases, but I think a lot of other fan bases, I think over time, they were like, all right, those do look pretty good. There are many, many nights I can remember on Friday nights watching the game, and I went, all right, this looks badass.
Most games that I've been to in the last
Friday night guy.
We're Friday night people. So we went to a lot of City Connect games, and I loved what the graphics did on the jumbo screen and like the banners around the stadium.
I love the colors, man.
It really worked. It really, really worked.
For me, it was the jersey looked a little too candy cane. But I love that. Those colors are amazing. I think it looks so good.
I like the mint pullovers.
Yeah, the mint pullovers were amazing. Yep. I could never pull it off.
The only part that I didn't like, and you can see it in the logo that Paulie has up on the YouTube stream right now, is the dual color word marks, where it's hard to read. So you know how
top half of
the top half is pink and the bottom half is light blue.
Look at our logo.
Look at our logo on your screen in the lower left-hand corner. Where it would say it's at San Diego in that half kind of pinkish and half light blue or mint. And I didn't love the two-tone San Diego. Well, that was about it.
And I'm excited, man, to see the new ones. I really am. And again, if it is the information that I've received, I think we're all going to be very, very, very happy. Shout out to our friend Beatrice. She lives in New York, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, and she just got stung by a bee on her morning walk.
Stung by a bee?
Bee got stung by a bee. She goes, "It's been a while since I got stung by a bee. That hurt. It doesn't feel good. I got a few years ago. Bo was just a baby, and I got stung on the back of the head, and I was, God dang." So both my kids fear bees like you wouldn't believe. They see
that sound in my ears creeps me out.
I know.
I was terrified of bees when I was a child. I haven't been stung in a while, but I got stung many, many times though as a kid.
You did?
Yeah, all the time I was getting stung.
Like a dozen?
I would say, probably 10 to 20 times at least as a child.
It's like a world record, I think. I got that for like a beekeeper.
And then you'd go in crying, and your mom would have to pull out the stinger. It's like a searing kind of pain.
No, it sears. Yes.
Yeah, it sears.
It sears.
I think I've told you this before. But when I was in 5th grade, I got stung probably 15 to 20 times at once.
Oh, no!
I got attacked by
a killer bee swarm.
Oh my gosh! I don't remember if they were wasps or bees or whatever, but they were. There was this.
Wasps.
We were at recess, and on the other side of the fence near the kickball field, there was some construction, houses going up, and there was a wasp nest in the tree near there, and everybody's trying to throw rocks at it.
Of course. Yeah, they say don't kick the hornet's
Yes,
nest.
we literally
when we were kids, we're like,
chucking
hey,
rocks at the
let's
hornet's
kick this
nest.
hornet's nest.
I have never kicked a hornet's nest. May have thrown a rock or two, and somebody actually knocked it down, and those things swarmed us. They were so mad, and everyone's getting stung. And we got back into class. This was like 30 minutes later now, and we're sitting there. I can remember this. I was sitting at my desk. We were supposed to be reading our books, and my stomach itched, and I kept itching over my shirt. I was like, what the F is that? And then finally I was like, what is going on? And I lifted my shirt up, and there were 2 bees still
just
on my
stinging
body,
just
stinging me. And dude, I went and I went flying backwards out of my chair. And sure enough, dude, I was like covered in bee stings.
But for me, actually,
all because Simon Hoyt wanted to throw a
Simon Hoyt. What's he up to?
Well, the sting is the worst, but I'd have the opposite reaction, because I remember many times where I would see a bee would land on me, and then I would freeze and not move at all to not disturb the bee. But then I'd be terrified, so I would be as still as possible, and then the bee wouldn't go anywhere. So I would just be frozen for like 4 minutes, hoping
Why
the
didn't
bee
you
would
just?
because I was afraid that would cause it to sting me.
He's not going to beat your hand. He's not.
I didn't know that at the time,
fast.
so I would just with motionless until the bee would fly away.
That's
I would
crazy behavior.
I know.
That's like Hannibal. That's what Hannibal Lecter does when bees land on him. He's like just stares at it the whole time.
It's just frozen, and I would stare at it until it would go away. Please go away. Please go away. I'm not going to hurt you, and you're not going to hurt me.
He's talking him down.
We have a contract here, because I know if you sting me, at least I've been told, you die. And you don't want to die, and I don't want to get stung. Yeah. So this is a mutually beneficial relationship we're going to have.
This is a win-win for us.
This is a win-win situation. Yeah. You don't sting me, you don't die. We're very happy, but just take your time, and I'm just going to wait.
Get what you need and get out.
Whatever you're looking for in my arm.
It's a one-night stand here. Okay, take what you need and be on your way. Yeah, it's well, Beatrice. I hope it didn't hurt too bad. Excuse me. Man, that was weird. Yeah, I'm fine. Very sorry for that. I'm a little tired. I had to coach last night, help coach, and I got the text. Flag football.
What sport? Yeah,
flag football. I got the text driving to the field yesterday. Hey, I have a meeting tomorrow, so you have the offense. And I'm like, excuse me. I have the what? And he's like, you have. Well,
you were replaced as the defensive coordinator.
Isn't it weird how when they need me, they need me. But I was replaced, fired for all intents and purposes.
Wally pipped
as the defensive coordinator.
You know how that works. They have to blame one of the coordinators. It's not.
I literally pitched shutouts. Like I don't know how I could have done any better. But
the head coach is not going to take the blame.
No. And I love our head coach. He also runs the offense. But he hit me up last night. He's like, you got the offense tomorrow night. I go, oh my God. So I had to go practice last night with the play sheet. All right, guys, let's go. We're going to run 4.
Is it laminated?
Oh, it's laminated. It's laminated.
How old are these kids again?
7.
You got a laminated.
It's laminated. They have wristbands with the plays, the whole thing. It's no joke, man. This is his whole life. And by extension, it's kind of mine too. I mean, I love it. It's so fun, but having to go out and actually call the plays on the field is a bit daunting. I'm when I say my stomach's a little nervous, Hannah, when I told her, she's like, oh no, I don't even want to watch. I go, I know, I'm a wreck about calling.
What are you
this
thinking?
Game
are you going to be mixing it up? If something works, are you just going to keep pounding that same play, or are you going to try to?
I think I'm a mix-up guy.
It's possible the opposing coach is listening right now, so you don't want to give away every single strategy.
We just run the ball. We never throw. If you're listening, we can't throw. Nobody can throw.
I think the reverse is a great play in flag football.
It's
in
not.
particular.
Trust me, it's really not. It's too slow developing. Let's put it that way in flag football. Not that we haven't tried it. We tried a little flea flicker action last night. That didn't work too well. Bo actually threw a pick on that one. He was not happy about it. I'm like, hey, you can't just sling it up there. There's 3 guys standing there. He gets all mad. And so listen, I'm wish me luck tonight. I got to go in and channel my inner. Who's the best? Who's the best offense? Like Kyle Shanahan. Was he offense? Yeah. He's offensive guy, right? I'm Sean McVay. Sean McFat tonight. He's got and I will hold it over my mouth when I get down in the huddle. All right, guys, we're gonna run forward.
Just in case.
So we're driving home.
Just in case.
We're driving home yesterday,
North Turner.
Yeah, North Turner. We're driving home yesterday, and two of the I had Bo and his friend Jackson in the back, and they're like, some of those plays were kind of confusing, Dad. I go, yeah, I know. We're going to try to simplify it tomorrow. I said, have you guys ever heard what it sounds like when you get a real NFL play? Have you guys ever heard what a real NFL play is? And they're like, no. So I remember, it was at a stoplight. I pulled up quickly the John Gruden.
Spider Y2 banana. What?
It was like, I played it for them, and they sat in the back seat. I go, all right, listen to this, and then repeat after me. It's 3 right, X 4 slot, 7 4 6 X stick left, 7 4 2, and then he would make the quarterback repeat it. And it was Chris Sims, and he couldn't do it. And he's like, "What is your problem?" He's like, "Well, it's 400 words, and you just yelled it out." I go, "Imagine having to remember that stuff." They were crying, laughing. They thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. So we're going to simplify it tonight. We'll run the ball. We're going to throw the ball when need be. But I'm very nervous about it. Very nervous. I want to do well. I want them to win. They really like winning. So I hope I'm not the cause.
Well, remember, it really comes down to the execution of the players.
It's not really my fault.
Not really the coach. Every play should work. If the players do it right, every play you call should be perfect.
That's right. If they do it right. So that's on the agenda tonight. Hold a good thought for your old pal Woodsy, because I think it's got the whole family in it, Tizzy. I don't inspire a lot of confidence when I'm out there. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know the guys to get the ball to, and I think that's half the battle.
Well, we've got a very busy show. We kind of have to keep it moving here early this morning.
I need to check something quick.
What are you checking?
You know what I'm checking. I'm looking at your computer right now to see what you have up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's clear.
Check all the tabs?
I didn't check all the. There's a lot of tabs.
You could be hiding it.
I have a lot of tabs. I'm not watching. I got the scores up right here, though.
Okay.
Just checking. We're getting bodied already in the Ryder Cup.
Okay, all right.
Down 3 of the 4 matches in the foursomes alternate shot, including somehow Scotty Scheffler down 3, and Harris English and Colin Morikawa down 4 to Rory McIlroy already early. Only Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay have a lead for Team USA, 1 up on Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland, but trailing in 3 of the 4 matches. So pretty much like last time, starting out as poorly as possible for Team USA in the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black. Yeah, I don't need to watch every second of it. We got a whole weekend of golf coming up.
Yeah,
but
big one.
I'll keep an eye on the scores and see. We'll probably have the matches complete by the time we're done with the show. But as I said, busy show today. We'll set the menu for what we have coming up, including a rock and roll legend later this hour after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This report is brought to you by the kids of Caltrans. Got a crash on the 78 westbound at Nordahl Road. It's blocking the exit ramp, and then you're going to be a little bit slow on the 125 northbound by Fletcher Parkway. You have some tire treads. They're blocking the middle lane, and leftover overnight construction slows you down on the 52 eastbound between the 805 and Santo Road.
My mom, my papa, my daddy. Where's the Caltrans? On the freeway, right next to speeding cars.
Please be careful.
Be alert. Be work zone alert. Brought to you by the kids of Caltrans.
Well, with no Padres game last night and no grap up or crap up to talk about in our next segment, we thought, why not go early? We've teased it for more than 24 hours now.
Yeah.
We recorded the interview Wednesday after our show. It was pretty cool, I must say, even as a rock and roll appreciating guy like Woods, to get a chance to talk to Sammy Hagar of Van Halen and solo career, Montrose.
Chickenfoot
was such a cool guy. We're going to bring you that interview early in the program here, coming up in about 10-15 minutes at the bottom of the hour. Looking forward to it. Was a lot of fun, and we're just going to enjoy that on a Friday morning. So that's right off the top. But we will talk Padres. Of course, they were off yesterday, but guess what? You got some good news. The Cubs lost yesterday, so the Padres are still in play for hosting a wild card series. They're going to need to do some work this weekend. They're down 2 games with 3 to play, but it's not impossible because they do hold the tiebreaker. Yep. So we'll take a look at what can and can't happen this weekend. But can happen is the Padres winning the West.
Well, we know it's over. We know it's the Cubs. That is
we do know
stone.
It's the Cubs. It is
we
officially
stone.
Padres Cubs.
I didn't see who won the West. It's not super important. No, I don't even know. I don't know. I thought it might be us, but I don't know. I have no idea. So
Pretty sure it wasn't the Rockies, but
other than that, it really could be anybody.
That's over.
I don't know. I mean, look, you spent $500 million in the offseason. My guess is you're going to win the West. That's just my guess.
Sneak out your division title.
And literally, they had to.
Yeah.
Did anybody think the West would be clinched on this date or on yesterday's date? I sure as hell didn't.
159 games into the season.
Right. I sure as hell didn't.
A little later than I think people expected.
I mean, congrats on doing the absolute bare minimum. You spend $500 million. Congrats on the bare minimum.
They
guys.
did.
Yeah, like my kids.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a big day for SDFC and a big game tomorrow as well with Darren Smith at 7:35 this morning.
Hell yeah.
They're opening the Right to Dream Academy. I'm actually going to be going out there later today to check that out. And tomorrow, the last home game of the regular season against San Jose. So Darren will join us coming up at 7:35. And then how about this on a Friar Friday?
Come on.
No, we don't have Mike Schultz. We don't have AJ Preller. We don't have Eric Grupner. We have one assistant to the CEO, Jake Peavey, Padres Hall of Famer, is going to be with us at 8:35 this morning.
Handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome dude.
MLB Network and one of our all-around favorites is going to join us here for the last weekend of the regular season. So we got Jake at 8:35, and then around that, we've got all of our regular segments, including Don't Do This, a chance to qualify for the Eagles in Las Vegas at the Sphere and take on Woods at 8:20.
Can we
Rydell report as well in our 9 o'clock
Can
hour.
we do flubs today? I'm fiending.
Please.
Now, I was out a few weeks ago, and you guys did them, and I missed them. And do we have any new ones to add, Paulie?
I haven't pulled one in a while.
Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't really
Friday.
matter. It is Friday. And it's Ryder Cup Friday.
It's true.
We could add 4 before the end of the show. One an hour?
5 and 4 now already. My goodness gracious, why are we so bad at the Ryder Cup?
I don't know. But flubs today. I'd like it. I'd like to take it out.
But when we come back, we'll set the stage for a moment, and then our interview with Sammy Hagar.
Let's go.
Coming up early on a Friday morning. Something a little different with Bennett Woods. Don't go away on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This is an interview, and we might want to leave it to our children one day. And we can do that.
I think they can find it on
That's true.
YouTube.
I mean, but they can own it if they wanted to, if we left it to them in our will.
Not everything has to be a segue. You can just say, hey, guys, it's Ben and Woods for Trust and Will.
Go ahead, then.
Listen, you got to get that peace of mind, right? If you're a parent, if you've got things that you want to leave to people, go to trustandwill.com. And you can do it all online. Took me 25, 30 minutes. And it's very affordable as well. When you log out, or when you check out, I should say, you use the code radio20, they're going to give you 20% off.
Woods likes to make fun of me, but this is no laughing matter with trustandwill.com. Serious business. You can make sure that your family is taken care of with a trust, which means they can avoid the legal hassle and expense of probate court. They could be tied up for months before they get access to things that you thought they might have right away, like your 401k or even your properties, like your house. That could all go into probate court if you don't set up a trust to provide access to your family. But you can do that at trustandwill.com. And again, no lawyer's office, no billable hours. It's an affordable process, and it's easy to do. Just go to trustandwill.com. Make sure you use code radio20 at checkout. Get 20% off your estate documents at trustandwill.com.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by IHOP. Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu, available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Just to be clear about that.
Right.
Not only, by the way, are we going to hear from Sammy Hagar, but we also are going to give away some tickets to Sammy Hagar's residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM, Las Vegas on March 20th. Now, this isn't our monthly giveaway. We're not.
No, you don't have to.
We're not getting you there. You're going to have to find a way to. You can drive there yourself, but you will get tickets to the show at least to see Sammy Hagar, which is very cool. And that ain't nothing. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. But before we toss to traffic, and then we'll come out with the interview. Any just quick thoughts here, Woods, to set the stage for Sammy Hagar?
No, I mean, it was something I was really looking forward to and glad we got a chance to do. And I think it went very well. I really do. I think he was, and it's all him. He is, listen to this dude's energy. He's going to be 78 on October 13th. So happy early birthday to Sammy.
Just quickly, for people who aren't that familiar, Sammy Hagar
replaced David Lee Roth in Van Halen, but he had a really successful career before his biggest hit, I Can't Drive 55.
I Can't Drive 55.
He was in Montrose, which their biggest hit was Rock Candy, which still sounds good 50 years later. Still sounds unbelievable. He sounds so good still.
And he's 78 years old.
78 next month.
But spry, and
you would never know it. Like I said, he's got every marble rolling around on his head that he ever had.
More than the three of us combined. No doubt about it. No doubt. Our interview with rock legend Sammy Hagar right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is driven by Sedano Ford and Sedano Lincoln in beautiful downtown La Mesa. You got a 3-car crash on the 15 northbound right at the 805 to slow you down, and another accident on the southbound side at Adams Avenue. This September to remember at Sedano Ford in La Mesa is going on now. Feel like family with Manny Sedano, who is a Marine vet and car matchmaker extraordinaire. Get a Ford Match E-Select for $285 a month and $1 down. For more details about these offers, visit SedanoFord.com. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, it's an exciting day on 97.3 The Fan. We have some live broadcasts coming up from Baja Ricks. They are sponsored by Santo Tequila, and we are joined right now by one of the founders of Santo Tequila. I'm also told he's a musician of some sort. He is the Red Rocker. Sammy Hagar is with us here on 97.3 The Fan and Ben and Woods. Sammy, it is so great to have you on.
Hey, thanks. I thought you said magician. That's more like it. You know what I mean? I can get things done. And people say, wow, how did you do that? I go, I don't know how I did it, but I know how to do it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's my claim to fame. I can do probably damn near anything if I don't think about it too much, and that's kind of like a magician over a musician. I also play music though. Yeah. It's one of my hobbies.
Tell us quickly about Santo Tequila. I know the celebrity tequila industry is pretty competitive nowadays, but this is something you've been doing for a while. So tell our listeners just a little bit about what you've got going.
Well, Santo, in my opinion, is the greatest tequila on the planet. And, I started making tequila in 1988 with Cabo Wabo and wrote the song with Van Halen, Cabo Wabo, built the cantina, had my own brand, sold it to Grupo Campari about 13, 14 years ago. So I've been doing this so long, and everybody says, well, what makes your tequila great? And I said, it just made the right way. Guy and I are on the same page about this. It's not about how much you can make. The way we make our tequila, we couldn't make 1 million cases. I'm going to be straight up honest. It's like, don't try to buy this brand and say, oh yeah, we'll turn it into a 1 million selling brand because these guys are under producing. We're not underproducing. We're making as fast as we can and as much as we can, but it's handmade, and it's, the agaves are more ripe. People are using really small agaves nowadays. They put sugar in it. They put, agave syrup, which is to make it 100% agave. Sometimes they even use grain alcohols, blah, blah, blah. To make real tequila, everyone says, well, we're additive free. Well, that's tequila. Tequila is supposed to be additive free. So you just make it, just yeast, water, and agave. And a ripe agave makes it better. Good water makes it better. The distilling process, of course, is always important. And I think the most important thing is the way we bake our agave and the way we cut it tight. All that green stuff, those big old spiny things, there's people now, they just throw everything there because there's such a shortage of agave. But, we trim it down real tight because that green stuff's bitter, and you got to add sugar sometimes or some kind of a sweetener to make it palatable. But tequila's not supposed to be like, drink, oh man, this is delicious. It's more like, whoo, man, that's good tequila. You know what I mean? That's tequila. Stop it. With all this, oh, it's so smooth and this is delicious. You got to put a lot of crap in it to make it real smooth and real delicious, but we don't do that.
Man, I love that we're sitting here talking to you. I've been a fan of yours since I was a kid. I mean, Sammy, I'm 50 years old. You're celebrating.
What's happening, young man?
I know. You're celebrating a birthday in October. I mean, how do you do it, dude? You're 78 years old in October. You look better than any of us combined. You move better. You sound better. You certainly have more energy. What is the secret other than tequila? Because that's not going to work for me, man, at this point. But for you, like your passion for what you do is so admirable, man. It really is, and it always has been.
Well, thank you. I don't have any secrets, and it certainly isn't tequila. I would love to sit there and promote myself and say, here, wait a minute. You drink this, and you can be like me. Well, no, you can't. But you can drink this. But the thing is like, if you drink that, then you'll be like me, like at night when I'm drunk.
Right.
Now, I'm a moderation guy, number one. I've been an exercise freak my whole life. I run around on stage for 2 hours, jumping all over the place and dancing. And I've never stopped, and I never stop, and I'm not going to stop. So it's like, I think that's what keeps me young. I got good genes, I guess, but I don't know. People keep asking me all the time. I'm a kind of a supplement kind of guy. I take some certain kinds of supplements, you know, and I'm actually creating a supplement pack for myself. I've been working with some, you know, guys that chemists and stuff that they checking my blood, checking everything and say, you need more of this, you need less of this, you should do it. And I'm actually trying to hone it down to the perfect formula. And I think it's important that you take care of yourself like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No
I'm
doubt.
not a science freak. I ain't like doing crazy stuff other than rock and roll.
But I wanted to ask you too. I mean, you talk about, hey, what a segue here, the perfect formula, and the story of you and how you joined Van Halen is truly rock and roll legend. Your Ferrari mechanic was also Eddie Van Halen's Lamborghini mechanic, and you were out, and Eddie, you know, David Lee Roth left the band. They were looking for singers, and this guy said, hey, you should call Sammy Hagar. Eddie Van Halen goes into the office and calls you right then. And then what happens?
The rest is history. 5 #1 albums, 47 million records sold, sold out every concert venue in the world. That's what happened. We made some great records. We hit it off. But when Eddie called me, I just come off my biggest tour, VOA, 3 platinum albums in a row.
Yeah.
And it was a big tour for me. And you know, I hate to brag about, but I made a lot of money. And I was thinking, you know, I'm going to slow down. I went and cut all my damn hair off. And I said, I got to go pick up my car in LA. And it was, I knew it was down there. And, you know, I was thinking, and when Eddie called me, I'm going, dude, this is really bad timing. I'm a big fan of you, not your singer, but you. And I would love to play with you, and maybe you can play on my record when I get ready to, when I, you know, come back to work. I'm taking a year off. And he goes, oh man, well, can you come down like tomorrow? And I'm going, what? I thought, well, I got to go get my car. So, okay, maybe I'll work this out. And I walk in the damn studio, and these guys have been up all night, and they start playing the music to Summer Nights and Good Enough, the 2 first songs we wrote. They didn't have any words or no ideas about lyrics or anything. And I just started singing Summer Nights in my radio. And they're going, whoa, man, you can hit that note. You can do this. You can do that. Yeah, yeah. And we jammed for probably 12 hours out taking a break. I went back home that night on the last flight because it was too late. I didn't want to drive my damn car. And I knew I was coming back the next day or next couple of days because I fell in love with it, with those guys and what they were doing. And that's the story. You know, I don't think I've ever quite told about how it really felt that first day. We just went, yeah, there was no question. It wasn't like, well, let me think about this. I have goosebumps on my legs right now. And that was what, 20 some years ago? I don't know what 85, 1985. Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, wow, I got goosebumps. Just remembered, because there was no doubt that this was great and a great marriage. And it was for 9 years. Hey, that's a pretty long marriage. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. And it's funny, man, because I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And in December of 1991, I vividly remember several of my friends ditching school. I didn't. I just couldn't ditch. I just couldn't find it within me to ditch to go down to see Van Halen play a free concert in the West End of my hometown to 80,000 people. Now, you promised that free concert, and that almost got you. That almost got you killed. That promise that you made.
Yeah, it was so funny. I got really hurt on the first Monsters of Rock tour. We had a brand new stage and everything. We had all these stairs, these metal stairs that went up to the sides where you could go up in this blah, blah, blah. Anyway, big production. And, but we didn't get a chance to rehearse on it because it was late. Everything was late. So the first show, I'm running around the first damn song. I believe it might've been Summer Nights, quite honestly. And the opening track, I really think it was actually. It's so funny. I picked that song again. And I was walking backwards and I tripped over something and I hit my tailbone on a corner of a steel step that was sharp, and it just ruptured my bottom vertebrae and almost paralyzed me for the whole tour. And I kept having to go to doctors every day. I'd have to get cortisone shot in my vertebrae. I would have to take, muscle relaxers at night so I could get position where I could sleep. I couldn't sit on the toilet too long, brother. It was like it was hell. And I got sick and I couldn't sing halfway through the thing. I had a sinus infection, an ear infection, from flying back and forth to my doctors, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't sing a lick. I walked out in Texas Jam, 70,000 people, opened my mouth, and there was nothing there. And I tried and I tried, and I held the audience. I held the microphone up. The audience sang every damn word for me. It was beautiful. They always do anyway. And I said, I swear to God, I will come back and do a free concert. And the guys were looking at me, man. The band, I come off stage, my manager, one of his eyes is kind of big. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. He's like, dude, you know, it's just going to cost us. And I said, I don't care. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. And quite honestly, it did. It really caused tension in the band. But when we did it afterwards, we were so happy and so jacked because it was such a cool show, man. We just had a jive tractor trailer bed I think we were playing on.
Yeah.
It was so down and dirty, no lights. It was just, yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's one of my biggest regrets. Out of all the bad things I did when I was a kid, that's the one day I decided to be a good kid and stay in school. And I should have gone down to see you guys kicking ass in the West End. And I'll regret it forever. But I know it's out on I can go buy the record of it. It's not the same as being there like some of my buddies were. But Sammy, we won't keep you too much longer, man. But I know you're doing a residency in Vegas, which I think is amazing. And I wanted to talk for 1 second. I grew up a Van Halen fan. I grew up your era Van Halen fan as well, and a solo artist, all of it, Montrose. But man, you're still playing with Michael Anthony, who in my opinion is he's like one of the most underrated guys in rock and roll history. The harmonies, the bass, the musicianship. I just want to give you a chance to speak on a guy that's always been one of my favorites, the great Michael Anthony.
Well, for the day I walked into Van Halen, you know, it was all about Eddie and I writing the songs. But after we finished rehearsing and after we finished recording or having a meeting, it was Mike and I that went out, you know? Yeah. And so we're kind of brothers from day one. And I used to always say, Ed and Al are like step brothers. Mike and I are real brothers. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. I made all kinds of jokes about the whole thing. But long story short, Mike, his voice is so good. He's one of the few guys that can sing above me. I sing in that crazy supersonic range, and he can go above me. And it's a sound like no one else. When you hear Michael Anthony's background vocals in Van Halen, that's all Michael Anthony. And we finally captured it on our last couple records. And on the live record we're releasing October 10th, I think it's called The Residency, the Best of All Worlds band, The Residency. And you hear his voice because we've been working on trying to get it live without backing tracks. And so we got this guy named Ray Thistlethwaite from Australia, and he sings a lot like me. And so when he harmonizes with Mike, we get the sound finally, you know, like because what you do in the studio is one thing. Eddie used to harmonize good with Mike. Some guys don't harmonize good with Mike because his voice is unique. But anyway, he's such a great singer. He sings right on pitch. He's one of the best musicians I've ever played with. And I'm talking about Joe Satriani, Eddie Van Halen. Mikey on bass is that good. He's not an innovator. He's not a songwriter. He's a badass, just musician. He can play, and he learns so fast. Eddie Van Halen's licks, you know, one note change every time you play it. It's so intricate. And in the studio, he'd go to Mike, you know, Mike go, yeah, I got it. Mike had it. Like, boom. I'll be going, this guy's insane. You know, he's like got a photographic memory or something. And he's the greatest guy in the world. He's first guy there, last guy to leave, gets on stage, gives it up every time. And he's a good human being. There you go.
I love that, man.
This has been such a treat. Sammy, I've got one question. You can tell Woods is our music guy. I don't know a ton about rock music, but I've always had this question. I've never had a chance to
educate him.
I tried. He really does. I've never had a chance to interview a rock icon. I don't know if people know. You very humble beginnings in Salinas, California. You start just as a musician, a singer, a guitar player. At what point do you wake up and realize, wait, I am a rock star? Like, is there a moment where you go, like, I'm now a rock star?
You guys are going to think I'm trying to be humble. I'm not trying to be humble. I have never felt like a rock star in my life, except on stage when people start going, Sammy, Sammy, and they stand up and sing, and I see all those beautiful faces. But when just going through my normal life, I don't feel like a rock star, and I kind of don't want to be a rock star full time. I know a lot of guys that are full-time rock stars, and and as they get older, they start really looking kind of stupid. I'm sorry, it don't work in your 70s going around acting like you're some hot dude and all these chicks are going to be coming after you and all that stuff. Even though they probably still do, but they're not 20-year-olds anymore. Okay, I love it. I love my fans. I love my life, and I don't mind being called a rock star. But I like to say in my head, in my heart, that I used to be a big rock star. And I'm still as big, but I'm not a rock star anymore. I don't live that lifestyle, and I like doing things for people. I'm really big on helping people and feeding children and helping terminally ill children with all my restaurants. That's what I do. I help families that have terminally ill children that run out of medical, and I give a lot of money to food banks from every show I play for the last 15 years. I write a check to the local food bank, and I recommend other people start doing that kind of stuff. And it's about reaching down and lift somebody up. I try to lift people's spirits up. When I write songs, when I walk on stage, I want to make people happy. I'm not up there to talk politics. I'm not up there to start any controversial crap, man. I'm going to say, we're here for a good time. When you walk out of here, you're going to feel good for 3 days. And other than a good bottle of tequila, nothing else is going to nurse you like that long.
Man, you've made us so happy. It's been such an honor and privilege to talk to you. It's just crazy that we get to do this. And thank you for your time. Let you get back to your day. You're an icon and a legend, man, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of other people too. Thank you so much.
Okay, Ben and Tom, now just don't let anyone drink anything but this. This is my only request. The other stuff will give you a headache and it'll make you fall down and hurt your back. That's what John Wayne said about bad tequila. He said, the bad stuff will make you fall down and hurt your back. This won't make you fall down and hurt your back. You might fall down, but you won't hurt your back.
I love it. Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy.
All right,
appreciate it.
You guys.
All right, have a good one, man.
I am so far.
And Ben and Tom at the end is just what caps it off for me. I love Sammy Hagar. Thank you for the time. The best guy.
Yeah, a little bit of a change up for us this morning, but how could you not enjoy getting to know that guy?
No doubt. And so the reason behind it was because his tequila is sponsoring the live broadcast
Santo
today.
Tequila. Braden's show and Gwen and Chris show are going to be live from Baja Rick's, presented by Santo Tequila. Both of the shows this afternoon ahead of the Padres game tonight. And they said, hey, you want to promote a little bit with Sammy Hagar?
Yes.
And we said, absolutely.
We didn't think you guys really needed to be there at 6 a.m. for a 6:40 p.m. start, but would you guys be interested in talking to Sammy Hagar?
100%.
Yes.
Any day. I loved it so much. It was such a treat, and one I will remember forever.
He's genuinely a good person.
Yeah, genuinely.
What was that little riff that he sang there?
Summer Nights.
That was like my favorite part of the whole interview.
One of the best songs I've ever heard.
Because when he did it, I was like, oh my God, he just sang right in front of us.
Yeah,
like,
it was
crazy.
That was my favorite part, is when it's Summer Nights in my radio. It's like, oh yeah, that's you that sang that song and wrote it. I love the 12-hour jam session on the first day they met. It's just incredible how that happened.
He cares about his craft, both in music and in tequila. I mean, you could hear him like he was passionate about it. It makes me want to try the Santo Tequila as well.
Me too,
because it seems like it's good brand.
Well,
and not
I'll
just a
support it.
He's not just slapping his name on stuff. Like he actually cares about it.
In the sales yard over there.
Really?
Yeah. See if we can go find some during the break.
Well, there's no one here, so I'm going to go peruse and see if I can find one. That's amazing. Can we just grab one? Probably. You do an interview like that, it goes that well, of course. All right, that's great.
It would almost be irresponsible not to go grab one at this point.
That's true. Man, he was great. So much fun.
You won't pat yourself on the back. I'll pat your back for you. You really carried that interview.
Appreciate
and I think we talked about it. Like he sent a text to like the rep or whatever and was just like, hey, those guys were great. That was a lot of fun. I got so much in that 10-minute, 15-minute conversation, which was really cool to see that text that he sent. And that's all you, dude. I don't think he was showing up to that interview. It was probably just the typical radio stuff. He was not expecting to go back 40 years to some random concert in Dallas that you brought up, and you could tell he was like energized by it.
When he's 100, and that guy I think is going to live to 100, he's going to go, that Tom did one of the best interviews.
Was great.
Tom in San Diego.
Tom, that guy in San Diego, host of the Ben and Wood show. Tom is going. I remember that one.
I loved it. I'll forever be Tom in Sammy Hagar's eyes.
All right, when we come back, it's definitely Padres Cubs. That's assured.
Yes.
But Still a question of where those games will be played. We'll get you updated on the National League wild card chase and more. Hour number 2 ahead on a Friday morning, a Friar Friday. Jake Peavey later here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Could you guess what profession has used this song maybe more than anyone? Crank it up a little bit, Paulie. Rock Candy by Montrose.
Would it be Exotic Dancer?
It would be. Yeah, I've seen this conservatively 400 times. All right, here comes Candy. Oh, look at that. Rock Candy's playing. Here we go. Give her a big Texas. Hell yeah. It's Candy on the main stage.
You've never been the announcer, have you?
Never. I would love to do it.
You'd be good.
I think I would be good.
You'd be good at it.
I think I'd be really good at being the PA. What, they don't call it a PA guy, do they? Just the DJ?
No.
The DJ.
Yeah, I guess so. The DJ.
All right, let's give him a big Texas. Yeah,
Give it up for Candy.
Give him a big Texas. Hell yeah. Here she is. It's Cinnamon.
I could do segues.
You could do segues. Yeah. Segues would be not great.
Please welcome to the stage, Diamond.
They do talk like that, don't they?
They do. They really
My
do.
limited experience.
You know who would really be good at it? Joe Davis would be phenomenal at it. All right. On the main stage, it's Cinnamon. He would crush. If it doesn't work out, he always knows he's got another lily pad he can jump to.
Remember to tip your waitress.
Tip your waitress.
Well, our thanks again to Sammy Hagar.
$2 Coors Light tonight. On the main stage, it's Candy. Yep. Great. Be great. He would crush. Don Orsillo would be very good too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Be amazing.
No, I can't stop thinking of
Mercedes Madness.
They probably don't appreciate this conversation, but you know what? It's Friday. It's a little goofy in here. Been a long season, okay? Been a long season. All right. Lay it out for us, Benjamin.
All right, so yesterday, with no Padres game, there was still plenty of impactful baseball in the National League. It started with the Reds and Pirates. Did you see?
Oh, the catch.
The catch.
My God.
The catch. Noelvi Marte with the ninth inning, one-run game. Reds up, needing a win as badly as they've ever needed one. Robs Brian Reynolds of a game-tying home run in the ninth inning as the Reds hold on for a 2-1 win. That then put the pressure on the New York Mets, who needed to win to stay ahead of the Reds. Remember, the Mets are ahead, but they don't have the tiebreaker on the Reds or the Diamondbacks. So they got to stay ahead if they want to make the playoffs. And the Mets then came through by beating the Cubs 8-5, helping out the Padres. Padres pick up a half game on the Cubs in the standings with that loss. So they're 2 back. The Mets remain 1 game ahead of the Cincinnati Reds and now 2 games ahead of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who got shut out 8-0. Their plan of not pitching Zach Gallen, going with the bullpen game, and Nabil Krismat did not work as Shohei Ohtani went deep. Freddie Freeman went deep twice. Dodgers clinched the NL West with an 8-0 win. The Diamondbacks now 2 games back. They could be eliminated as soon as tonight at Petco Park. If they lose and the Mets win, the Diamondbacks would be out. The Mets can't clinch today. Their magic number is 3 to clinch a wild card spot over the Reds. Wow. But if they won and the Reds lost, they would be on the verge. But if the Reds win and the Mets lose, then the Reds are back in control of their own destiny going into the last 2 days of the season.
Incredible. And whoever wins that is going to end up taking on the Dodgers. That's your prize, right?
The winner will take on the Dodgers.
There's your prize.
At Dodger Stadium Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week.
You shall be greeted if you're Cincinnati or if you are New York or if you are Arizona. You shall be greeted by Ohtani's throwing game 1, then probably Snell and Yamamoto. So enjoy. I mean, it's all, you're like, wow, okay, this is our prize.
We talked about how we're not upset. The Padres, we like the side of the bracket they're on with the Cubs and the Brewers as opposed to the Phillies and the 6th seed. However, the double advantage the Dodgers do have, of course, will get the series at home because they won their division, and they're going to take on a team that's going to have to play hard all the way through this weekend. They can't rest guys. They can't set up their pitching rotation. The Padres can, but so can the Cubs. And by the way, the expected game 1 starter for the Cubs pitched yesterday. Shota Imanaga and did
go
not
well.
pitch well. He gave up he gave up home runs to Nimmo, Lindor, Beatty. I think he was charged with 7 or 8
6,
of those runs.
6
of those runs, but it was not a good final tune-up. Now, does it mean anything? Not really. They didn't have anything to play for. So just like we've said all along, you can't really assign any importance to these games in September for any team. So if you're not discouraged about the Padres play, you can't get excited when the Cubs start struggling as well, because they could just as easily turn it on next week, just like the Padres can kind of turn it on and get going. But it was not a good final start of the season for Shota Imanaga.
No, and then, it once the more I thought about it too, as it pertained to the Dodgers and Diamondbacks game, I thought to myself, man, with Yamamoto on the mound, it does make sense to me that Torey Lovullo, the heads all got together and they said, all right, Yamamoto's on the mound. These guys, it's a legitimate punt. Like, we're going to punt. And hey, baseball's weird. Crazy things could happen. Their bats could go ice cold. We could still win this game, but we're not going to burn Zach Gallen. He's going to throw against the Padres, tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, tonight.
He will throw tonight.
Just, you punted a game. You punted a game when you are
and they can still make it. They have the tiebreaker over everybody. So say, the Diamondbacks sweep the Padres.
Yep.
And the Reds lose 1 of 3 and the Mets lose 2 of 3 this weekend. The Reds are playing the Brewers. The Mets are playing the Marlins, and it finished in a 3-way tie. In that instance, the Diamondbacks, I believe, would be the team that gets the wild card. So they're not out of it. They need a lot to happen, but they're still playing for their lives tonight with Zach Gallen on the mound in game 1 of this series against Yu Darvish.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting final 3 days of baseball. The beauty is, for us, not that exciting. The thing that I'm going to be watching for the most is, hey, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt, stay sharp, get your knocks early, and then seed your position to some of the bench guys.
Meanwhile, in the American League, you now have 2 divisional races and 1 wild card race that you're really keeping an eye on. In the AL Central, the Tigers finally
won a
snapped their 8-game losing streak. They beat the Guardians 4-2. It's the only game in that series that they won, but with the win, they move back into a tie for first place. Now, remember, Cleveland clinched the tiebreaker, so going into the last weekend, Cleveland has that advantage, but they are dead even. So
Cleveland's got who?
Cleveland will finish with the Rangers. Cleveland's at home in that series. The Tigers will finish with the Red Sox on the road. So Red Sox have not clinched. They've close, but because they lost yesterday to the Blue Jays, they're right on the verge of clinching, but they can't just give up. So they're facing a Red Sox team that at least needs something. Woo! The Guardians are facing a Rangers team that doesn't have anything to play for, just spoilers, trying to end perhaps Bruce Bochy's managerial career. His contract is up. He did not sign an extension. He signed a 3-year deal, won the World Series, missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. He said he'll have conversations with Chris Young about the future after the season's over, but no guarantee that Boch is back next year with the Rangers. So that could be his final weekend series. They're on the road at the Guardians. So that's one division race. The Yankees and the Blue Jays are tied going into the final weekend as well. The Yankees do not have the tiebreaker there. They beat the White Sox yesterday. The Blue Jays beat the Red Sox. So the Blue Jays have the advantage. They will host the Rays for 3. The Yankees will host the Orioles for 3. So both teams playing division rivals who are out of it going into the final weekend. But the Yankees, if they can do one game better than the Blue Jays, will win the AL East and get to host their first round wild card series.
Pretty incredible, man. Pretty incredible that it's come down to this. Now, again, no, they don't do game 163 anymore, right?
Yeah.
And why?
Well, with the way the playoffs are set up now, starting on the Tuesday and everything, it was just, they decided it was too hard to then schedule. If there was a rain out or anything, then you have to start pushing the playoffs back. So they've gone to the tiebreakers. And
I don't like the tiebreakers.
I loved the 163.
Game 163 is insane. This is it. We win, we're in.
Yeah.
That's the coolest.
So that's not how it works. And then you've got the Houston Astros are still in the wild card race. They're a game behind the Tigers right now because Cleveland has that tiebreaker. They're also a game behind Cleveland. So they've got 2 opportunities to catch those teams, but they do not have the tiebreaker. The Tigers have the tiebreaker on the Astros.
I saw this question posed yesterday, and it was a pretty good one. It basically said, which is more mortifying? Missing the playoffs if you're the New York Mets with all the money that they spent and spend, or the Detroit Tigers blowing a 15.5 game lead?
I think the 15.5 game lead is pretty nuts.
But the $450 million payroll is insane.
It is
to not make the playoffs.
But you never thought that it was a dominant $450 million payroll, even when you saw the Mets team.
No, you didn't.
You didn't think, like, it wasn't like the Dodgers. Like, the Mets would have to have a catastrophe not to win this division. You always thought the Mets were going into the year going to get the Phillies were going to be a tough out.
Yeah.
The Braves you thought were going to be a tough out going into the season. You never thought the Mets were going to cruise at any point. Where, like the Dodgers, you thought, oh, they're going to cruise to 110 wins. Now, they ended up winning the division, not the way. A 15.5 game lead is real. It's not just on paper.
Hype.
It's not payroll.
Yeah.
That's an actual lead. You had to play that well to build it up. Normally, teams that play that well can't also play that poorly at the same time to blow a 15.5 game lead. You can make up 15 games. If you're a good team and you're against a bad team, yeah, I mean, teams stretch out 15, 20, 30 game leads all the time, but not when you've already proven that you're 15 games better than the other team. Then it's like, how can you reverse the roles like that? That's why it's so rare.
I don't want to misspeak. It's only a $340 million payroll,
Right.
Not 450. That would be insane.
That's not even as much as the Dodgers have.
The Dodgers are
more,
348, so there's about 350.
But plus, that's before you hit all the luxury tax penalties, right?
Yeah. That's
it's
just
even
total,
higher with everything else. That's just total salary.
Yeah, total salary. So I think that's, I mean, you spend that much money and you don't get in. That's pretty tough. The Rangers spent a lot of money. They're set number 7. The Braves spent a lot of money. Like I said, we are 9th in payroll and we're in the 5 seed in the playoffs. So kind of commensurate, I think, with what you get. But yeah, the Mets would be pretty bad, but I think I agree with you. Blowing a 15.5 game lead, Benny. When was it? From when?
So it was 15.5 early in July, but it was 12.5 a month ago.
A month.
It was like
9.5 a month ago.
in September.
It was 9.5 like 2 weeks ago. So it's been one of the biggest collapses in baseball history.
If we went back to, I don't know, mid to late August and remember looking at some of the races and the standings, like it didn't look like it was shaping out to be this close and this intense because teams like the Giants got hot and put some pressure on other teams. The Diamondbacks got hot. The Reds started to contend a little bit more. It was kind of looking like the playoff field was set in stone, like in August.
Yeah, it really did. And we should all know better. We should all know better. We've covered this game long enough to know that that's never the case. Somebody gets on a massive heater and somebody gets on a really, really cold snap, and that's exactly what happened to Detroit. But what a relief for them to get a dub yesterday. Yeah, Dodgers were up 10 or so on us, right, at one point this year, and fought valiantly. But yeah, we talked yesterday on the roundtable about it. Ben asked, what's the thing that you look back on that you would have wished the Padres had done better? And I think we all kind of had the same answer. And I said, though, I'm beyond the age of lamenting. And Tony Gwynn Jr. really liked that. There's no reason to lament right now what could have been. There's really not. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot change what happened. But I think we all kind of agreed, yeah, it would have been nice to see you guys put your foot on the gas and really go out and try to win the West when it was kind of gift wrapped for you.
Yeah, and it wasn't as though they played badly against the bad teams all season. They actually played well, but when they really needed those wins late against the Twins and the Orioles, those definitely stand out.
They scuffled in September
as the regret games for the Padres this season.
Like old Schulte says, hey, man, they're trying to. The big league team trying to. He's absolutely right.
It's not the way I thought it would go.
No.
Like when we looked at the schedule, especially like around the midway point, we're like, all right, you got a gauntlet in August. And then it lightens up in September and you can make up some of that ground that you might lose with all those division games in August. They played okay in August. It was September that gave them trouble.
So what did we learn? We learned to never say 2 words again. Soft schedule.
Yes.
Never. I will never utter those words again. There is no such thing as a soft schedule.
We all did it. We all saw that
Everybody
September schedule, and you're thinking, all right, those teams are out. These teams aren't going to be good. You got a lot of winnable games. I know for a fact. We all said it.
Yeah,
a lot of winnable games in September.
Soft part of your schedule. Remember the stupid time on the round table? We're like, all right, this road trip, it's got to be 6-1. What did we win on that game? 1? Were we 1-6?
2-4.
2 and 4.
Yeah, or 1-5, maybe. Yeah.
It was horrible. It was horrible. So yeah, we're all guilty of saying it. You got to learn from your mistakes. Next year, if you hear me say soft schedule, you get to kick me in the shin if you see me, because I will not say it. There are no soft schedules.
The Dodgers also had a very
they
soft schedule coming in, and
they
did not take advantage of it either.
But they ended up winning the West.
But they did.
Yeah.
And that's mostly due to the Padres letting them win the West.
Correct.
Just like if the Padres had won, it would have been due to the Dodgers letting them win. Now, the opposite was also true.
That's right.
Padres let the Dodgers win it. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. They're both playing series next week.
Yep. They're both playing wild card. They're both wild cards.
Yeah, they're both playing in a wild card best of 3 series with their season on the line. And I can see both of them advancing, and I can see both of them being eliminated.
Correct.
Because that's what happens in the playoffs. You like the Dodgers' chances with their pitching of going forward against a weakened team, but you're also going to remember they're also going to be facing a team that is coming off a big high of finding a way to get it done and clinching the playoffs and going in with a little confidence, probably swinging the bat decently going into that wild card series. Everybody is dangerous in October. There's not a team left that would surprise you if they won the World Series.
Yeah, there is. The Reds would surprise me if they won the World Series. I would be shocked.
Is there a team that's currently in a playoff position? The Reds are not in a playoff
You're
position.
Right. They are definitely not.
Like the least likely would be maybe the Guardians or the Mets. The Guardians are the hottest team in baseball. And the Mets, we saw how dangerous their lineup can be. When they start hitting home runs, no one wants to be facing the Mets. They got to the NLCS last year, so they've just been there.
Blue Jays would not surprise me. Yankees would not surprise me. The Mariners would not surprise me. The Phillies would not surprise me. The Brewers.
I mean, they're the number one team in baseball. How could that surprise you? They're the number one team in baseball.
I know. It still would surprise me. It still would.
Dodgers wouldn't surprise me.
Cubs would surprise me.
Cubs wouldn't surprise. The Cubs.
I know.
They have a really good lineup. They were really, really good the first half of the season. I don't think they surprise me that much if they do.
It would surprise me.
It would surprise me a little bit, like 5 out of 10. But like the Reds, I'd be very surprised. Not saying they can't do it.
Yeah. Okay. The teams that are not in playoff position right now, the Tigers with their collapse, the Reds, the Diamondbacks, they would surprise me.
Correct.
But none of those teams are currently in. Of the 12 that are in right now, I don't think any one of them is a huge surprise, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun, man. Good last weekend. Certainly teams playing for a lot of stuff, including the team that's going to be here this weekend, fighting for their playoff lives. Be fun to, we got to be loose. We just got to be loose and stay healthy. And that's really all I care about.
And we can talk about, Annie Halburn wrote a story about playoff experience and how much the Padres actually have. And will that be a factor going in? Does that make you a little more comfortable in these games? We'll get to that. Darren Smith's going to join us at the bottom of the hour to talk Padres and SDFC. But Don't Do This is coming up next. Have a memorabilia controversy involving Logan Paul and Michael Jordan that we can get to in DDT. That is coming up after a check of traffic here with Benna Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. But as you head into the weekend, make sure you start setting your Prize Picks lineups, whether it's college football tomorrow, pro football on Sunday, or baseball, and the final pennant races all weekend long. You're watching sports. You might as well win real money. All the sports knowledge that you've gleaned, you can put them into daily fantasy lineups with Prize Picks and win real cash. It's easy to do. You're just setting lineups between 2 and 6 players, picking against stat projections, more or less. If you want to win big, hey, make a big lineup, 5 or 6 plays in a power play where you have to win them all, and then you win big. Or you can go a little smaller, 2 or 3. You can do the flex play where not everyone needs to win, and you still win money with your Prize Picks daily fantasy lineup. Either way you do it, make sure you download the Prize Picks app and use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And make sure, I always do this when I set my lineups, make sure you use one of those max discounts. This weekend, I believe it's Jalen Hurts, 1/2 of 1 passing yard. Put that into a lineup. makes it much easier to win. Put in a big lineup makes it easier to win big with those max discounts every weekend here during the football season. With Prize Picks, where it's good to be right, must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Darren Smith coming up at the bottom of the hour. First, though, don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't
leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. I will start just a bit of a personal rant. Hey, if you've got money and you want to spend it however you want. Logan Paul spent $562,555.42 on a signed piece of the United Center floor, a Michael Jordan signed piece that supposedly was from the heart of the Michael Jordan championship era. Like, it was billed as a piece of wood from the floor when they were winning their titles, 1994 to 1998, game-used court. Signed it, 5-time MVP, 6-time finals MVP, 10-time scoring title, Hall of Fame 2009. Pretty nice memorabilia, but there's now a question of whether it is the authentic floor. They the auction house said, we have it documented, this was the floor. It was used until 2009, then taken out, and they cataloged it, but they didn't allow Logan's people to independently verify it before the final payment of the auction. And now Logan gets it. There's a question about it, so he's suing the auction house about the authenticity concerns over this piece of floor. If no one really knows, isn't it just basically, hey, I believe it's real floor?
Yes.
If no one can prove it's not, they're saying that it is, and you're willing to pay that much money for it, why are we suing now?
Aren't you? Yeah, because you're paying, in my opinion, I think you're paying for the signature, right?
You got the signature.
Which is...
Is anyone ever going to know exactly what that
some
floor
guy walks
was
in, he's
from?
like, that's not the United Center.
That's not the floor.
That's not the United Center floor. Kind of dumb.
I think it's dumb.
The lawsuit is dumb. I think
the lawsuit is dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's dumb.
You think it's dumb, right?
$550,000 for a signature that's on a piece of wood. But hey, if that's his money, makes him happy. I get it. But now it has to be this big lawsuit about it as well. I don't know. It just seems like we could do better things with our time.
You know what else is dumb is an up and coming podcast inviting a radio veteran on their show, having some technical issues, and then blaming said radio veteran. This happened to me.
I think
recently.
it depends on who the radio veteran is and what their reputation for technical difficulties is.
Well, when you invite someone on a podcast, it's your podcast. You get it all set up, and then that radio veteran sits and gives his spiel for 30, 45 minutes in the middle of a busy, long day. You don't blame the radio veteran for your podcast not working. I'll explain. I recently appeared a couple of days ago on the Pimptacular podcast. You guys may know Pimp Lord Jeremy. He has a podcast with our friend Trang. It's good. They're really good. They're funny. They're irreverent, which I really enjoy. And they asked me if I would like to come on. A bit of a beef between us before. And I used to yell at him a lot because he would be goofy about wanting to take over the Padres social media. Now, we weren't winning games at the time. And I said, why don't we focus on the team winning baseball games instead of, coming up with some funny pie caper at spring training where Fernando sticks his finger in an apple pie and there's Manny that catches him. Who cares? Win baseball games. That's what I cared about. So he and I used to beef about it all the time. So we've had this little thing. He asked me to come on. I did this, in my opinion, I did a pretty great podcast last night, laying in bed. Look at my Twitter feed. It says this from Trang. We had boomer-ass Stephen Woods on the pod this week. The 30 minutes of files from his end didn't upload. So all we had was us talking into the abyss. And it's them going, hey, Woodsy, how are you? They're sitting there, and clearly I'm speaking. How's this my fault? You sent me a link. I clicked the link and had my phone set up. The camera was on. What? How's it on me?
I don't know, but in a way, Paulie invites us onto his podcast every morning,
right?
When we jump into the stream, and whenever there's technical difficulties, podcast. It tends to be your fault. You don't mute, you do mute. It tends to be his fault when things go wrong technically. Is that not right, Paul?
Paulie, if you invited me to a podcast and you heard me talking and you saw me on the screen, and there you are. I see your little box with your face on it, and we're talking, we're having a thing. How's it? And then you at the end, you're like, oh, it didn't get Woods.
Now,
How's that my fault?
They didn't like give you any instructions. Like you need to.
They did. They said download this app and here's the link.
But nothing
so I
extra.
did.
Like,
no.
hey, when it asks you if you want to record or whatever,
it said record, use camera, enable audio. So I did it all, and then they're blaming me.
Clearly, they could hear you during the recording.
Yeah, we had a full conversation.
It wasn't just they didn't just ask you a question and then. I guess he's not talking.
No.
Let's try another one.
No, we had a great combo.
All right, I've heard all points. I've made my decision.
I don't think it's on Woods, is it?
Woods is the biggest boomer in my life.
Yeah.
Like you are
By
the
far.
biggest boomer that I know.
I get it.
Bar none. I don't know anything about the software, the app that they were using.
Yeah.
I haven't used it personally.
Right.
But I think you're clear. I think you're innocent.
Thank you, Paulie. I feel vindicated. And I told them I'm happy to come on this thing again. I'll do it again. I don't have unlimited time, but I like you guys and I'll do it for you. And I support new media and I like your podcast. But now you've now said it's my fault that you didn't record the audio on your podcast.
Like it should give you like an option to you can record each camera's
of course
feed individually if you want to do a bunch of post-production editing.
This is why the radio guy knows what he's talking about.
Well, and if anyone would like to hire Paulie Reindl, and he's expensive to produce their podcast.
A side gig.
He's very expensive,
yeah.
but he's very good.
He's very good.
I mean, see our Sammy Hagar interview?
Yeah,
no problems
None.
whatsoever.
No problems there.
Yeah.
Imagine me blaming
I
Sammy.
gotta call Sammy. Hey,
you
Sammy,
screwed up.
You screwed up, idiot.
He said we had a full conversation. Like, yeah, no,
fat Kevin James lookalike.
Yeah, you effed it up, dude. You effed it up, Sammy. We're gonna have to do this again. So anyway, look, I like the Pimptacular podcast. I don't appreciate.
Are you going to go back on to try it again to fix it for them?
I'll go back on again because I liked it was fun, but it was not my fault. It's your podcast, buddy. You figure it out. It's not my job to figure it out. I'm just there to be the talent. You wanted the talent. You got the talent. That's my job. Show up, be dynamic, and walk off. That's what I did. Tell me about it. It's my fault. Calling me out publicly.
All right, finally a little do this for a Friday.
DD mega do.
Got this text from my friend Scott and Abby last night. They were at North Park Beer Company in North Park and posing at an event with one Gavin Sheets, who apparently they released yesterday the brand new Holy Sheets Hazy IPA.
They weren't at Beer Company. They weren't at North Park Beer Company in Escondido?
No, in North Park. This is the North Park branch of North Park Beer Company.
North Park Beer Company.
Looks like a pretty cool
Park.
Looks like a pretty cool can. The Holy Sheets.
Holy Sheets
ale here. It's an IPA. It's a hazy IPA. So we got the Crone Zone now.
You know, if we were in New York right now, you know what I'd say? Shouldn't he be in the cages yesterday? If we were in Philly right now, I'd say, what was he doing? He was at
with Ramon Laureano out. His role is going to be critical for the postseason.
Shouldn't he be taking fly balls in left field on his day off? I don't know. But I'm not in Philly. I think it's great. I can't wait to try it. Soft media.
Gavin's good dude.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Happy for him.
All right. That is don't and do this for a Friday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we'll come back. Darren Smith will join us. Big day for SDFC today. Big day tomorrow for SDFC. And we'll get his thoughts on the Padres-Cubs matchup as well. All coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, quickly, have a great weekend, everybody. If you currently are planning on driving around, stopping at a bunch of different dealerships, shopping for a car or truck of your dreams, I'm just going to steer you in the direction of La Mesa. All right. They can take good care of you down at Sedano Ford and Lincoln in La Mesa.
Are you saying that correctly?
Sedano Ford during the September to Remember sales event. It's going on now. And go down, talk to my friend Manny Sedano. He is a Marine veteran. He is a car matchmaker extraordinaire, wants to get you in the car or truck of your dreams and has made the prices really, really good for you. You can do that easily. This month, you could lease a Ford F-150 STX just $429 a month or take advantage of the Get a Truck with $1 down. Get you a Ford Lightning just $324 a month or a Ford Mach-E Select just $285 a month for both just $1 down. How about the epitome of luxury with the 2025 Lincoln Corsair Premier, just $449 a month, $7,500 dealer cash on all 2025 Lincoln Navigators. That's pretty incredible too. Visit the biggest inventory in La Mesa, Sedano Ford and Lincoln Megastore. The September to Remember sale, it's going on all month long. Sedano, Ford, and Lincoln. Don't forget to let them know Woodsy sent you, please. For more details about these offers, check out Sedano Ford or SedanoLincoln.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't forget our Friar Friday guest in just under an hour. Jake Peavey is going to be with us. Can't wait for that, 8:35 or so. But joining us in just a moment after traffic, a guy who spent a little time with Jake in the past, Darren Smith is standing by. We'll get to him right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is brought to you by Islands Restaurants. Jam-packed on the 15 northbound into University Avenue. You've got a 3-car crash. It's in the bus lane, but lots of activity over here. And then on the southbound side, somebody broke down at Felicito Road, and the right lane is blocked. And still working on this collision on the 78 westbound right by Nordahl Road. Islands Restaurants, summer refreshment paradise ambiance, and the best burgers in town. Like the Big Wave with cheese and fresh cut fries. $10 now for a limited time only. Visit one of our Islands restaurants throughout Southern California today. Dine in only. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, before we get to SDFC, big day today and tomorrow, and the Padres-Cubs playoff preview as we welcome Darren Smith in. I know he's also a Ryder Cup guy. He had Steve Sands on with him earlier this week on the podcast to preview. It's not even 8 o'clock. U.S. is going to be down 3-0, Darren, already at the Ryder Cup. They have lost 2 matches, about to lose another one. Another disastrous start in a Ryder Cup for Team USA.
Yeah, brutal. Like, what a way to wake up and just say, oh, let me see what's going on with the Ryder Cup before I get my first cup of coffee in me. It's like 4 down here, 5 down there. It's got like one shot at picking up a point here this morning, and it's the Shoffley-Cantlay group. So even that's not a guarantee with 4 or 5 holes left to go. So this has been a bit of a bloodbath out there at Bethpage, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like giving up 6 runs in the first of a playoff game.
Yeah,
Like,
all right, the
guy
sits down, he's got his hot dog and his beer. He's like, wait, wow, like, what happened here?
You're like,
they've been literally excited about for 12 years at Bethpage going, this is going to be the most amazing home course advantage in U.S. history.
Yeah.
And they come out and just
lay a turd.
Yeah, you had the European Ryder Cup team putting virtual reality goggles on to simulate how obnoxious the New York crowd was going to be. And they just walk out there. They're just like walking their putts in. They're whistling through these holes like it is. They are totally unfazed by any of this. And it's not great to be this disinterested by 7:45 on Friday morning.
Literally 3 hours in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'll watch it because maybe something will happen and this could turn itself around. But in terms of like wanting to set a tone for what this tournament was going to look like, man, this ain't it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. D. Smith, what an incredible first season for SDFC. We've belabored that point. Obviously, job's not finished yet. We talked to you last week about, you said you potentially would talk to Mikey Varas about how he's going to kind of maneuver in these last few games. Did you get a chance to sit down and talk to Mikey?
Didn't, but we did have him on the show. And it's interesting. It's just so interesting how similar these two situations are between the Padres. And even though the sports are structured completely differently, but just in terms of the mindset and some of the decision making and some of how you prioritize, are you chasing the results or are you prioritizing a little bit of rest? Like it is interesting because, what Mikey did concede to was with 3 games to go and still a lot to play for during the regular season, like winning the West. That's a really, really big deal. You're on the verge of setting a couple of all-time records for an expansion club, but he did say, and it caught my ear, he did say this week that making sure that they were as ready as possible for the postseason was a huge priority for them. And he didn't go into any detail. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they're going to sit or look for opportunities to put Anders Dreyer on the bench or Chucky Lozano or what have you. But he definitely did say that. And I thought one of the things also that feels very applicable is, if there's some things that you have to iron out, there's just not a lot of time between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the postseason. And there's even less time in baseball, right? The regular season ends Sunday and the postseason starts Tuesday. At least in MLS, the regular season will end on October 18th and it'll probably start October 22nd, 23rd. But like he said, like, we do not want to be trying to figure things out in that short amount of time. So we're going to start trying to figure some of that stuff out now. And they've had a little bit more luxury. Their on-ramp to the postseason's a little bit longer because they clinched earlier. And again, the sports are structured differently, obviously. But yeah, there is some similarity there between what it is. Like, are you just going to go all out and try to chase this? And they will try. Like, they're not mailing these games in. They're not raising any white flags and conceding, but they are now starting to say, what are the things that we really need to prioritize for the postseason? Because we're starting now to look ahead to the playoffs, which is interesting.
Forgive my ignorance, Darren, as it pertains to the MLS, but if you win the West, do you get a bye? Is it work like American sports? Is it do you get to rest and watch, another round and, like it does in baseball?
No, I mean, it's actually not ignorance because this league changes the rules every year for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't get a
flip
bye.
a coin. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of bizarre. They've done this weird stuff, and they're going to change it again next year, it sounds like, too. But, what happens is, the top technically 9 teams will qualify, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But 8 will play 9, and then the winner of that will play 1. And you don't get a bye, but you'd at least get to see that thing sort itself out. You will get home field advantage and the like. The reward for winning the West for being the 1 seed is I think I've mentioned it, is that you do get to you get invited to a big tournament, a big international tournament called CONCACAF Champions Cup. So that is the reward, that is the carrot. Plus the bragging rights of saying, hey, we won the West in our first season would be pretty cool. But there is actually something there, some incentive to go ahead and do it, other than just being competitors and wanting to win all these games. But in terms of buys and things like that, no. And then you play a best of 3, which is kind of awkward. And then in the subsequent round, should you advance, it's just a single elimination.
So even though SDFC is in first place, like the Padres, they don't control their own destiny because the team right behind them, Vancouver, has a game in hand. So they're going to need to drop some points. Now, they did drop 2 points in a tie earlier this week against Portland, which helped out.
Wow.
But they're going to need Vancouver at some point to do something wrong for SDFC to hold on to that number 1 seed, correct?
Correct. And this is so heartwarming to know that you were following along with
the
Portland Vancouver game on Wednesday night. That really,
Sweet angel.
I love that. Yes, I do. That is, it makes me happy to know that I was not the only person paying attention to that game on Wednesday. But yes, they will have to drop some points, and they're on a little bit of a roll, but they're also beat up, and you got to compress a lot of soccer in a short amount of time, especially at the end of a long season. And they've had to play in some of those tournaments too. So, they've played extra games, which is why they're having to catch up now here at the end of the year. So, it's not guaranteed, but you are right to point out that it is in, if Vancouver, if there's such a thing as controlling destiny, then Vancouver does control theirs.
Talking to sorry, was that you?
No, that's right. I want to switch to Padres.
I was too. Yeah.
Well. All right, we're both excited to switch to Padres.
Yeah, no doubt. We got 7 minutes. We're fine. Got the great Darren Smith on with us this morning, and you
4
guys.
4 minutes, but
is it 4? I still don't know the clock after all these years. I know you guys have been.
That's 20 years of my career.
I know. I know you guys have been talking a lot of baseball, a lot of Padres on Section 1904, your podcast that you do with our buddy John Gennaro. Your kind of quick 30,000-foot view of what awaits probably in Chicago. I think we can all agree. We've all kind of resigned ourselves to being in Wrigley Field on Tuesday.
Are you guys going, by the way?
No, we are not.
I'm looking at flights. I
have
a cousin who lives there. I'm starting to piece this together.
Piece it together. You can be our representative.
Yeah, I'm like, if I catch this flight and have some points on Southwest,
it's going to be
my cousin's couch.
I got
be
extremely
amazing.
jealous.
Check out the new Terminal 1.
We were talking with Sammy Levitt yesterday. Sammy is going to be flying on the team plane to Wrigley, and I go, most likely day baseball, playoff baseball, Wrigley Field.
Elite.
I'm like,
Elite.
What possibly could be better? That sounds amazing.
Winning would be really cool to win that.
Winning
series.
there,
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, I mean the Cubs. It is part. I know the 2016 seemingly had changed things in terms of the identity of the lovable losers, but they've had a couple of late season in October hiccups, haven't they? So
yes, they have.
I mean, listen, I mean, I think we're at the end of a really long season, so it's easy for us to focus on the things that we focused on all year long that we don't like, and who's the starter, and who's going to do this, and what's going on with this guy in the bullpen, and oh no, now this injury is happening at the absolute worst possible time. But, I'm sure in Chicago, they're sitting around saying the same thing. Like, well, This guy just got lit up, and this guy's, I don't know that I like this guy's chances. And, I mean, I do believe to an extent, not to overdo it, but, I do believe to an extent that, you do push a reset button in October. I don't know what that looks like for Manny Machado. I mean, he's just been so not Manny for the last couple of months. I don't have any, real actual way of suggesting that Manny's suddenly going to revert to Manny from May and June, where you thought maybe this guy could be an MVP candidate. But I don't know how that would happen or why that would happen. I just know sometimes that those things do happen. And I won't hold my breath, but I do believe, like, I look around this National League. We just got done watching the Brewers. No disrespect to them. I might have to eat these words in a couple of weeks.
Sure.
But I don't know, like, where the domination is in this National League. So I feel like it's kind of up for grabs. And I like the way the Padres at least have proven that they can win some of these lower scoring games, some of these close, lower scoring games. So, I wouldn't say I'm bullish on them, but I'm not pessimistic about them either. I think anything could happen.
Darren, of course, this will be the second all-time playoff series between the Padres and the Cubs. The first one was formative in my life. I was, 8-year-old Ben watching the Padres Cubs, the Garvey home run. I was at Game 5, the clincher at the Murph. But I'm curious, for someone who wasn't in San Diego yet, I assume you were a formative baseball fan at that time. Do you remember that series? Does everyone remember it the way I do? Because it was such an important part of my childhood.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not remember it that way.
Do you remember it?
More?
Yeah.
No, I remember it more from like hearing Tim Flannery talk about it, hearing Rick Sutcliffe talk about it, hearing our friend Barry Axelrod, may he rest in peace, talk about it, because he was, he knew a lot of people on both sides. He lived in San Diego and he represented people with the Cubs and how they all came out here to party, and some of the great stories about how they couldn't get their flight off the ground in Chicago. Like, those are legendary stories that I've heard so many times and I can't hear enough. And I hope they come up over the next couple of weeks, but I don't remember it that way. I mostly remember it through other people talking about it and through through the obviously the video that people show and such.
It's funny.
Thanks for the segment idea, because I'm going to contact as many of those people as I can and try to get their memories on. I think that's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, Flan does tell that story, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like when they were leaving Chicago, they were like, "No, Padre plane, you guys wait."
Yep.
And they let the Cubs plane go first, and like they just kept the Padre plane on the ground for a while.
Yeah,
it's just kind of fun shenanigans when you think about it.
I think it was RJ's Fro said he got a Cubs like Buster shirt got him stopped at the airport recently, like an old one in Chicago still. Because they are still sore about 1984.
It's amazing. It's like the first time too, and like I heard you guys talking about if you can go back in history and go back in a time machine, and I was like, I always wondered like how amazing San Diego, and Ben, you've lived it. Like, how great it would have been doing that for the first time. Right now we're like, oh, whatever, they're going to the playoffs. Doing it for the first time, would have been such an amazing experience to go through.
It was remarkable. I remember it. It's one of my most clear memories of childhood. I remember exactly where I was sitting, watching on television at my grandparents' condo when Steve Garvey hit the home run, knowing that we had tickets for Game 5. My dad was going to take me if they won.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like they were going to win, and it was like, oh, no, I'm not going to get to go. And then I remember sitting there, and then I remember Game 5 and going with my dad and watching them win. And then I remember after the game, because it was a day game, and we went back to my grandparents, and you could hear the horns honking throughout the city of San Diego. The first time we had really experienced anything like this, and we were going to the World Series, and it's
unreal, man.
It was incredible.
It's unreal.
You could hear it just all night, honk, honk, honk. Everybody in San Diego just united in joy, and it's such a clear memory of my childhood, that series against the Cubs. And here we are now 41 years later, and we're going to finally repeat that. The Padres and Cubs are going to play a playoff series next week.
Yeah, even some of the radio calls, like it raises the hair on my arms when you hear Jerry talking about they're tearing Sutcliffe apart, like even the Leon Durham play, like they're just such, even for somebody who didn't live through it, it's really incredible to go back and listen to some of that.
I won Hopper to Nettles to Wiggins, and the Padres have won the National League pennant. Oh, doctor, you can hang a star on that baby. I mean, I remember the play, the Nettles picking it up, getting the force at second to Alan Wiggins, and then just celebrating on the field at the Murph in 1984. It was truly spectacular.
Wow, what a bunch of boomers who can't how to log on to podcasts. Look at us, bunch of technologically disabled losers.
Like I told you,
I remember being a kid listening to people talking about baseball from like, oh, I went to the 40s. This is like when I was a kid. listening to people talk about baseball in the 40s, and thinking, yeah, these old guys are talking about baseball from 40 years ago.
It doesn't matter,
now
old
I'm
man.
the old guy talking about baseball.
What kind
that I
of
went to
television
40
was
years
that?
ago.
Higgins, the rabbit ears?
Incredible.
You didn't watch it on your phone? What are you
Rabbit
even
ear
talking about?
television for sure. So Darren, really appreciate it. Going to be out. I'm going to go out to the SDFC Right to Dream Academy opening today. Cover that. That's pretty interesting news, and we can break it down a little bit next week, see how it goes. But I'll see you out there.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Darren.
Darren Smith, 1904 podcast, and our regular SDFC Padres contributor every Friday. One of our favorite interviews, of course, of the week. All right, we'll come back a little bit late, but we'll get things restarted in hour number 3, which will include Jake Peavey on a Friday, plus a Take on Woods game, chance to qualify for the Eagles in Las Vegas. All ahead, Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we're halfway home on a Friday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Still got Jake Peavey still to come on the show at 8:35. Going to be joining us. Spent some time out in Arizona with some of our young pitchers, those who are left in the San Diego Padres system. We'll talk to Jake about who he saw and the work that he did. And obviously, Jake is a World Series champion. He knows what it's like to pitch in the biggest games. And boy, did he really help the Boston Red Sox, man. He was just a legendary performances by Jake Peavey. The duck boat, we all remember it. Just incredible. Would love to have that here someday. That would be a lot of fun. Woodsy, that's Paul Reindl, executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well.
He's seen it both ways, though. He's also known the disappointment of losing in the wild card round, as well of the playoffs. So, what's the difference? How do you get over the hump and get to be the World Series champion? He's got a really good perspective on all of that.
Yeah, can't wait to talk to Peave. Always one of my favorites. I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say here.
Well, while you do that, I will remind everybody that we still have some tickets for Sammy Hagar to give away later in the program.
Yes.
With the interview that we did earlier, got a nice email from Mike during the break. Said, just heard your interview with Sam. They're very tight, apparently. Actually, they are. He said, my wife grew up with his wife, still really good friends. What you heard from Sam is how he is on a daily basis. Very good dude. Both he and Michael Anthony very involved with research of childhood diseases. Excellent job to you all. Mike, thank you, Mike.
How does he have so much energy is what I want to know. How does he have so much energy?
Clean living.
No. Far from it. Far from
He's
it.
a rock star who makes tequila. It can't be that clean.
How clean are you? How does he have so much energy at 78 years old? I'm 50. It slows down a lot, man. The energy is just not there on a day-to-day basis. Yesterday during the roundtable, I caught myself yawning like 4 times. I didn't mean to be. I wasn't trying to be rude. So nobody was boring.
So there's a trick. You don't know the trick. So there's 6 people on the roundtable. And sometimes they're showing all 6 of us on the wide shot. But when someone on my side, the 3 side, you're off camera, and then the other 3 are on camera, you wait until someone on the opposite side of you is talking, and then you can yawn or look at your phone or something because you're not on camera at that moment.
That's when I might give a little scratch or an adjustment there when I see it pan off. Honestly, too, the camera angles are the least flattering. I look up at the thing. I go, Jesus Christ, my shirt is sticking out like this. So it looks like I'm 4 bills.
And that's just a radio show and a YouTube stream. Imagine me every single night.
I can't.
And I'll get ready to do my segment with Kimberly Hunt. Like last night, I was doing a segment on the Ryder Cup and I was doing one on Ramon Laureano's injury. And I'm standing off camera to start. She's about to introduce me. And I know, all right, we're about to switch to this other camera shot that's then going to include me. And I am thinking constantly, okay, how do I want my face to look? Am I smiling here? Am I not smiling here?
Am I serious?
It's Ramon Laureano. It's injured, so I should look somewhat concerned. And I am going through all these facial contortions trying to go, what's exactly the right look I should have for this particular 12 seconds that I'm going to be on camera?
It's
very genuine, isn't it?
Yeah, very. I also don't like how they make you stand.
Yes,
the sports guy shouldn't stand.
I'm always standing in the background, and then.
Hey, thanks, Kimberly. So here tonight, the Padres are blah 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 blah.
We call that the cross shot. So it crosses behind her. I'm actually behind her, and it crosses across the room.
It looks weird.
And then it switches to my camera 3. Where I'm looking directly into my teleprompter and seeing the video in front of me.
I like a sports guy at a sports desk.
Sitting right next to the other. That's how we used to do it.
You don't even have your own sports desk.
Let's go to the sports desk in the corner.
That's what
I've never had a sports desk.
We say that, yet if we had the ability to be able to stand in this studio for 4 hours, I would do it.
I would too, but that's different, in my opinion, because yes, we would be on camera, but we would just raise the cameras higher.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for that, I think I like on the news. I don't like how he's standing, and then he has to worry about his hands, and his hands go in front of his wiener, and then his hands go behind his back.
I think about my hands so often, and I really can't. I've never been able to come up with anything better than
your wide stance is unbelievable.
The wide stance. Well, I've started while they kind of taught me do a forward back stance is a little bit better than a wide stance.
Power stance.
Kind of a power with 1 foot forward, but my hands. I've decided I kind of lightly grip my fingers, but because the triangle, you do that looks weird.
Yeah,
with your hands.
that does
so
look
I just
weird.
kind of try to very
What the
gently
hell?
just kind of hold on to my hands. Occasionally I will do the hands behind my back thing just to mix it up a little bit, but I wouldn't want to do that every single time. But every once in a while I'll do hands behind my back just to change it up. Now when you're on the desk,
Do that weird triangle thing again.
Yeah, do the triangle again. What in the F? I didn't see it the first time.
I don't
Who
do
does
it.
this?
There are some people on the news who will do a triangle.
Do you see how weird this looks?
Yes, I know. Don't do the triangle. It looks really weird. Don't do the triangle.
Do you see how weird this looks?
Right. Don't do that.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to report on the news site with this penis triangle here. What in the world?
Don't do the triangle. Now,
who does the triangle? Point me in the
Literally
direction.
nobody.
Point me in the
something
direction.
you don't realize. Now, when I'm sitting at the desk, the anchor desk, which is like, a normal desk size in front of us, always keep your hands on and above the desk. You don't want the hand to go below the desk.
Then you're pulling the Reese McGuire.
That looks really weird. If you'll notice that if you ever see an anchor like sitting with their hands below the desk, you will think that looks very odd. So I always have to keep my hands on the desk.
Do you think you're fondling yourself?
I don't know what they think, but it does look awkward when your hands disappear below where the viewer can no longer see them. So keep your hands in sight of the viewer at all times. And I usually have them separated a little bit, so I'll have the hands apart on the desk as I'm looking kind of toward the camera. Sometimes you can move them together a little bit, but usually I'm more apart on the hands.
Do the triangle on the desk.
Don't do the triangle at all.
Don't want to do the
Never
triangle
do the
on the
triangle.
desk.
Can you point me in the direction of somebody that does the triangle? Because I want to talk to them.
All right, we'll find someone. For
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Next. All right.
He's right here. It's Ben.
I'm
Ben's
putting-
the
I
only
don't
one.
do it. I don't do it.
I'm putting the tier ones to work here. If you see somebody triangling on the news,
what the hell?
tell me.
Look at this man.
Tell me AS. That's all I'm thinking about is he about to what? It's right there.
Right.
There it was. Glory hole.
Wow.
Don't do the triangle. Some people do the triangle.
Ben's whispering eye. God. All right.
Oh
tier
my
ones. If you
God.
watch the news ever.
Hunter says he's seen the triangle
No
for
way.
sure on
No
Twitter. Yes,
way.
absolutely. There are broadcasters who do the triangle.
Paulie, I've said it before.
I'm like
Sometimes they go a little
shocked
higher
right
on the
now.
triangle, but that looks weird too.
Around your belly button.
Yeah, belly button triangle still looks weird.
I like to just hold both of my breasts as I talk on the news when I do a hit. Paulie, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You and I have let our entire audience down for the last 8 years because, in all honesty, we should have been watching him every night for every stand-up, for everything he's ever done. We really never watch. We probably could have gotten reams of gold.
Oh,
and
I
I
know.
mean
I know.
reams. I mean, did you see him? We never watch. I always I forget sometimes. And we could have, especially when he's downtown and like do it like if we get a home game at Petco Park.
Oh,
It's legendary.
yeah.
It's legendary. Do you do the triangle when you're on the street?
So on the street, I'm holding a stick mic, so
Okay.
that's different.
Okay,
I
that's
have
hard to
actually
do.
something to
Okay.
hold.
But you will power
It's almost
stance.
harder when you don't have anything to hold.
Of course.
Because then you have to worry about your hands. When you have a microphone, that's great because then you've got that to hold and it's very comfortable and natural.
It is wild. That is wild. I need to see other people in the wild doing the triangle. So if you guys could do that, tweet at Ben and Woods. That would be great. That would be great. I love that so much. So much. I'd never heard of the triangle.
Never heard of the triangle?
No, I'm just a huge fan. We teach the triangle in football when you go,
to catch. Yeah,
to catch.
The
No,
catch.
you did it wrong. You did put the triangle. Like you normally would. So take
Right.
your triangle
I've
that you
never
put
played-
over
I've
your
never
wiener.
Played. I've never played. Well, I haven't.
Okay,
the other
now
way. I'm
flip it.
backwards.
Now
So
just
then
flip
flip
it.
it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how you want to get the nose.
No, see,
cone.
my triangle's like it's more like
I
an
know what
open
it is.
triangle. Not see that's different triangles.
That different. Okay. Stephen A does the triangle. They're saying that is crazy. I know. Yeah, I know you like the triangle offense very much. I know you're a big fan of that.
Used to be.
Holy cow!
That was man.
I loved that. Thanks for enlightening me on the triangle. I am just obsessed now with the triangle. So going to need to see that.
Even AI says broadcaster triangle most commonly refers to the practice of some TV reporters forming a triangle with their hands below their waist during stand-up reports. A fad that was also known as V hands, and that unfortunately became slang for a vulgar term in American Sign Language.
I'm gonna anytime I have to do a thing ever again, I'm doing.
You're doing the triangle
forever. That's for.
You didn't know about the triangle.
Never knew.
Yeah.
Now I do, and now that's all you're going to see. Can I come on the news soon? Again,
please? Can I
come do a hit with you soon?
You want to join me on Channel 10 just so you can do the triangle hands.
Yes. I love it. All right, let's move on.
All right, we have a game of Take on Woods to play. Oh, Nathan's here. Big-voiced Nathan is dropping by, apparently. All right, we've got a game of...
Is he?
I just walked by the studio and waved, I believe.
Okay, he just waved.
Yeah. We've got Take on Woods, chance to qualify for Las Vegas, 833-288-0973. If you want to call in now, we need a contestant coming up in our next segment. Chance to win tickets to see the Eagles at the Sphere, and then Jake Peavey at the bottom of the hour. Don't go away. Ben and Woods continuing on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Looking for some plans this weekend? How about heading down to 7 Mile Casino for their award-winning Best in the South Bay brunch on Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then sticking around to play in San Diego's best card room, Woods?
That is a great idea. You can play California-style blackjack. You can play Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, Baccarat. You can even sit out on the back patio and just take it all in because it is a beautiful view. And best part, just 7 minutes from Petco Park. Final homestand this weekend for hopefully, the regular season at least. Pre-game, post-game is elite.
Yeah, hoping you still have a ways to go before, you have full free time to go to 7 Mile Casino, but it's there for you in the off-season as well. Again, no long drive into the East County. You can spend all your time playing. That's what you wanted to do. Play cards. You get to do that. They take high-limit action. If you're a high-limit Texas Hold'em player, they'll have a good table for you, probably one right now because the 24/7 option. Not going to find a better, more fun card room in San Diego. It's 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All the columnists coming out with their end-of-season awards picks. Jason Stark this morning, he picked Aaron Judge over Cal Raleigh. It's going to drive some people to madness.
Yeah, it will. It already is. It's getting really ridiculous on social media right now.
And I don't think there's a right answer. I really don't. Aaron Judge's numbers are insane.
They're insane. I didn't realize he was like 100 points higher in OPS plus, got way more hits. I am so impressed with Cal Raleigh.
Doing things no catcher has ever done.
Correct. I'm very impressed with it.
It sucks.
Sometimes MVP awards just don't work. And this year, they just don't work. They both are MVPs. You can't rig it, though, so they're exactly tied.
Right.
Because you don't know who everyone's voting for. But if you could, like whoever 50 voters, just say, half of us vote for Judge, half of us vote for Raleigh, and they could share it. And I think everyone would be okay with that.
Co-MVP, I really wouldn't have.
But that would be a rigged election. So they won't do that.
Dude.
Writers won't do that.
Sucks. Yeah, imagine one of those guys putting up those numbers and going, oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. You know, I mean,
imagine, think if you knew, before the season started, what catcher Cal Raleigh's numbers would be, and then he wouldn't win MVP.
There's never been
what the hell happened?
There's never been a better case for co-MVPs.
Never.
You can't decide. It's almost impossible. But someone will win it, and someone will have one of the biggest snubs in MVP history.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. I think both teams, though, the good news is they're both in it, and they both have
win their divisions too.
Well, yeah, they both have a legit shot at winning a World Series.
This isn't Mike Trout having a crazy year on a Angels team that won 70 games.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, Ohtani is your clear winner in the NL. Just running away.
I mean, Schwarber had a great season,
He did,
but he's not pitching game one of the wild card series for the Phillies either.
He could. Technically, he could.
It's true.
So let's not leave it off
they
the
got
table.
by, so they don't even need him in the wild card series.
Rob Thompson's like, you know what? I really want him to get this. You got the bump.
He's like,
Me?
You're going
Game
this weekend.
1? Okay. All right. If you need it.
Yeah.
No, it's somebody really, really will get toasted. Who was
all right? Schwarber starts game 1 against the Dodgers. If he strikes out Ohtani, he gets MVP.
Done. Deal.
It's a regular season award. Doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count at all. All right, we got Jake Peavey coming up in about 10 minutes. So right now, let's get to it. Final game of the week. It is time to take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got to say goodbye to Woods and say hello to Noah, our contestant today. Hello, Noah.
Hey, Ben. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Happy Friday to you.
Yeah, happy Friday.
All right, let's see if we can get you qualified for our grand prize drawing. We have 6 qualifiers so far. You could be number 7 in the drawing for the tickets to see the Eagles at the Sphere, Las Vegas, for the show on January 30th, a 2-night stay at the Venetian Resort, a Vibey VIP package, and a $100 gas card. Check out all the 2026 new shows for the Eagles residency at Sphere Las Vegas at Ticketmaster.com. Woods is gone. Your advantage, picking our category today in our 5-question musical trivia challenge. Your choices are the blank of love. 5 song titles that end in of love. All you need to come up with is that first word. I like Take on Woods. Those are 5 song titles that include the phrase I like. And our new category, all 2-second songs, again, times tables. That would be 5 songs with the word times in the title. So the blank of love, I like Take on Woods, or times tables. Noah, what would you like to play?
Let's do the blank of love.
The blank of love. All right, today's category seems pretty simple. Every song title ends in of love. You just have to fill in the blank with what comes first. 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. Not only need you to fill in the blank of love, but you also need to give the name of the band to score that point as well. Noah, are you ready to play?
Yeah, ready to go.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. The category again, the blank of love. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Noah. Let's take on Woods.
Yeah, The Power of Love by Huey Lewis is the news.
Correct. Peter Cetera's first hit single after leaving the band Chicago was which 1986 song that was featured in the film Karate Kid Part 2?
Glory of Love.
Correct. Billy Idol told everybody to rock what in his final top 10 charting hit from the year 1990?
Pass.
Co-written by Phil Spector, a classic 1964 oldie by the Dixie Cups had a couple on their way to which location where they were gonna get married?
Pass.
A side project for members of Talking Heads, Tom Tom Club, recorded which 1981 hit ranked as one of the best dance songs of all time by Rolling Stone?
Genius of Love.
Correct. Let's go back to Billy Idol told everybody to rock what in his final top 10 charting hit from the year 1990?
Cradle of Love.
Correct.
Yeah, Cradle of Love.
Co-written by Phil Spector, a classic 1964 oldie by the Dixie Cups had a couple. Oh, we ran out of time on the last one. You got 4, though. Power of Love, Huey Lewis. Glory of Love, Cradle of Love, Genius of Love, and the Chapel of Love. Where we're going to get married.
Glory of Love.
All right, so 4 is the score. Let's bring Woods back in. Carlos, fan of Genius of Love. I am too. All right, Noah's score is locked in. No category for Woods. Same 5 questions, same 60 seconds. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Noah.
Power of Love by Huey Lewis.
Correct. Peter Cetera's first hit single after leaving the band Chicago was which 1986 song that was featured in the
Glory
film?
of Love.
Correct. Billy Idol told everybody to rock what?
Cradle of Love.
Correct. Co-written by Phil Spector, a classic 1964 oldie by the Dixie Cups, had a couple on their way to which location where they were gonna get married?
Oh. Wait. Pass.
A side project for members of Talking Heads, Tom Tom
Chapel
Club.
of Love, sorry.
Correct. A side project for members of Talking Heads, Tom Tom Club, recorded which 1981 hit ranked as one of the best dance songs of all time by Rolling Stone?
Love My Taint.
No, and that's important because it's a 4-4 tie, and that means Noah, you're in. You have qualified. Congratulations for the trip to Las Vegas and the Eagles. That really good song. I love it. It's Genius of Love.
How does it go?
By Tom Cluff. It's very musical. Paulie, if you could call that one up for us to go into break. The category, The Blank of Love, of course.
We tied.
You tied,
I thought I was rolling.
You were rolling.
Damn it.
Fun category, I thought. That was a good one.
That was good.
You'll know Genius of Love. I'm surprised you didn't know that. I thought you'd get that one. I thought Chapel of Love, that was the one that tripped up Noah. He got Genius of Love, though.
Damn
yeah.
it. Let me hear a little taste of
Oh,
it. Oh, yeah. Love this song. I had no idea what it's called.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Title is what got you. Not the song. You knew the song.
I knew the song.
I heard it too, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
I like that song. Yeah.
All right, we got Jake Peavey on a Friar Friday coming up next. Do not go away, Padres fans. Legend, Padres Hall of Famer, will join us on the eve of the postseason. Coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, quickly, gang. Tired of watching your hard-earned cash fly out the window? If you're trapped in a high-rate mortgage, it's exactly what you're doing. At Loan Pronto, they're delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Their rate reduction home loan program, streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. You can lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR, close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. Here's the kicker. Skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is incredible. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com. Lock in your new low rate now. Skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com. Right now, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
The bloodbath out at Bethpage Black.
Getting bloodier by the moment. U.S. down 3-0, got wiped out in the first three matches, including Scotty Scheffler going down 5-3 with Russell Henley to Matt Fitzpatrick and Ludwig Oberg. John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton won 4-3 over Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau. Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood won 5-4 over Harris English.
All right, zip your lip. Jake Peavey's on.
All right.
I just needed a
We're
vamp
tied in the last match.
All right,
all
tied.
Square now with 2 holes to play.
All right,
let's
cut
check
any time.
Let's check traffic, and then Jake will join us for Friday next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans. We are slow northbound on the 5 with an accident at Manchester Avenue. It's off on the shoulder, but on the southbound side, you got a car fire at La Jolla Village Drive, and that is backing you up all the way from Sorrento Valley Road. So just watch out for that. There's also a collision on the 8 westbound at the 15. It's off on the shoulder, but it's really slowing you down.
There are children, friends, and families walking, riding on paths and roads every day. Remember, they're real people with loved ones who need them to get home safely. Protect our cyclists and pedestrians, because they're people too. Go safely, California. From the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans.
It is the final Friar Friday of the regular season, and yeah, you want to make it special, but this is extra special because joining us right now is Padres Hall of Famer, assistant to the CEO, and MLB Network broadcaster Jake Peavey with us here on 97.3 The Fan and Bennett Woods. Jake, good to talk to you again.
Ben, it's great to be with you guys.
Thank you.
Happy Friday. Happy postseason.
Happy postseason, Peeve. It's always fun to talk to you, man. Hope you and the family are doing well. I know you just spent some time down in Arizona. Tell everybody what you were doing, who you were talking to, who you were working with. How did all that go?
Well, yeah, we were in instructional league. So after the minor league season ends, we gather, it was around 50 or so players that lots of them were out of the draft this year. Some of them got sent home due to a lot of workload, but the ones who still needed some work, direction, and plan for the all season, our minor leaguers were there. First time to see and touch Cruz Schoolcraft,
yes,
Madonna, and some of the kids that, you know, to go from the draft room the day we took them to now finally see them in a Padre uniform, go watch them work, go love on them. And you guys know, as being there in fantasy camp, watching it overlap Riley Westman, Vinny, the staff down there, Scott Kubal, and what he's doing on the hitting side of things. We've really got a great baseball ops team throughout our minor league system. And when you start to dig into the Padres, as I have, you realize why we are successful. You realize how it happens 4 out of 6 years in the playoffs. Starts down there, and I had a wonderful time. Just forging a relationship with our boys, who, if this bunch doesn't punch through and happens not to win a World Series before they get here, those boys are going to be our guys.
Cruz Schoolcraft, 18-year-old, straight out of high school, first taste of pro ball. I remember when I was doing Padres pre- and post-game show, and the Padres drafted a youngster out of Mobile, Alabama, who came right into the pros and made a pretty big splash. What do you remember, Jake, about those first experiences with the Padres as a pro back at your age?
Did anyone come love on you when you were out at Instructs?
You know, I don't recall it happening. No, I mean, guys, we're talking about, listen to this, Hideo Nomo. I tell you how unbelievable of a staff we've got. But Hideo Nomo, brilliant baseball mind, down with these kids. Moises Alou, Will Myers got into town. Mark Loretta, Trevor Hoffman. These guys are all touching and spending days with these kids. So, and it's just they're getting incredible love in baseball fundamentally, but they're also getting love from longtime major leaguers who just are now going to be their friend. I'm now starting to text with about half the guys that were over there and forge a relationship. But yeah, look, when you just asked me what it felt like speaking to the group, I had to hold it together. Looking at these kids, I went back. I was in the same complex, 20 plus years ago in 1999, trying to find my way, wondering if I did belong. Could I make it at this level? What does making it look like? So, to be back, you guys know how excited I am to be back with the Padres.
Yes.
Every little job that Eric and Tom have put me in, I've loved. None more than I just leave Phoenix with those guys. They're hungry.
That's so cool, man. And for you, when you came up and you had to go do this stuff as a young pitcher, who were the guys that helped you learn how to handle yourself? They always talk about this guy carries himself the right way. He goes. This is my favorite. He goes about his business the right way. You hear it at fantasy camp. Brett Boone yelled at me. He said, "I don't go about my business the right way." And I'm like, "This is fantasy camp. Why don't you?" He goes, "Why don't you be more like Kevin?" He did. He goes, "Look at who's the big tall righty? Kevin."
Kevin.
Kevin. He goes, "Look at how Kevin. He goes about his business the right way." I go, "What are you talking about?"
He also played in the minor leagues.
He was a minor leaguer.
I was actually a baseball player.
So for you, Pete, who taught you how to go about your business the right way?
Hey, you tell Booney that we're all got to be ourselves. First and foremost, we got to be, right? You got to be true to the woods, and that's what we're doing.
It's exactly right.
In life, right? With respect towards everyone around us. But the personalities are what makes it all beautiful. Look, when I got to the big throughout the minor leagues, you have friends, but when I got to the big leagues, there wasn't a whole lot of veterans on the staff. I'm going to tell you, the guy who influenced me on the staff the most throughout my young career, still a great friend to this day, is Brian Lawrence. Brian Lawrence, me and him were pitchers of the year in 2000. So we got to know each other quickly in the winter. And then when I got to the big leagues, any question I had, I was comfortable enough to ask B-Law. And B-Law was, knew I was fish out of water, saying, "Hey, come on, do this, do this." And he was having big success during my time here. We all know that Trevor was the ultimate role model for all of us, the way he worked, the way he taught us how to be on time, professional, him and Boach. And then, look, Darryl Ackerfield, Darren Balsley, the coaching staff became quickly my best friends and people I leaned on throughout my career.
Brian Lawrence and Mason Miller, the two immaculate innings in Padres history, and never again will those two guys be mentioned in the same sentence, probably. But.
No doubt.
Both versus the Orioles too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, so Jake, let's put a bow on this season, because there was a moment around a month and a half ago where talking heads like yourself and some of your colleagues, MLB Network, were like, "I think the Padres are going to do it. They're going to take down the Dodgers. They're going to win the West." Didn't quite happen. Padres are going to go to the playoffs, but the Dodgers got it done. What do you think happened here in the last month where the Padres weren't able to get over the hump against the Dodgers?
Yeah, we just never quite hit on all cylinders. The offense has been kind of slow to get going at times and produce really big numbers. And I think the starting pitching, we've just kind of at times not known outside Pavetta what kind of, start we're going to get. And we just never could get on that run. I think we know, look, the Dodgers are a very, very good team. Watch Yamamoto pitch and what Ohtani's doing. This team they're firing on all cylinders in the last month or so. They got Mookie Betts going. And I know neither one of us played lights out down the stretch, but I think both teams are poised and ready to play off run. Because we didn't catch the Dodgers means absolutely nothing. If you think anybody that I know in this organization from the top on down is scared, no chance. The Dodgers are as gettable as they've ever been.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think, like I said yesterday when we did the Padres roundtable, Peeve, I'm sure you weren't listening, and that's okay. Basically just said, I'm too old to lament things, right? It's in the past. Nothing we can do about it now, but the opportunity is still in front of you. You go out and you win 2 games in Chicago, and then you go out and you win 3,
or maybe at
Petco. Yeah, still a chance. But then you go out and you beat Milwaukee, and look at this, man. You're right back in there looking for a World Series championship. Why not us at this point? And I think, a guy that I earmarked yesterday as a guy that could be a real wild card for the San Diego Padres is Dylan Cease, because I'm still very bullish on stuff. I watch him pitch and I go, I don't get it. Like he's got no hit stuff every single night. For Dylan, have you ever had a chance to talk to him and sit down with him and just say, hey man, you've got it in you? I did see Manny grab him and kind of put his arm around him after they clinched, and you kind of could figure out what the conversation was. But with Dylan, he's got all the tools.
You're exactly right. Look, Dylan, I've probably gotten the closest with on the staff throughout the year. We're not incredibly close, but one's very eager to learn, talk to anybody to make his craft better, and it just hasn't been his year. And if you watch him pitch, it's like a cluster of about 10 pitches that if you can go get back in a start, you can take 3-4 runs off the board, and the rest of it, most of the time, looks like you're saying, just overpowering stuff. The Cubs, I know, have trouble with velocity. Dylan gets up 97 to 99, and so here's what I'll tell you. I think this team is poised and ready to make a run. Can we do it? We've got a 4th starter that's not even going to get the throw in this wild card round because we're deep, and that's a good problem to have. Yu Darvish, who may or may not get a start here, can show up in the biggest of ways, as we saw versus the world champion Dodgers, and give us an incredible effort. So we've got what it takes on that roster. I'll be at the field today talking to each of them individually, and that's what I'll be trying to get out of them. Dylan Cease is a free agent at the end of the year. He pitched game 4, and it didn't go so well versus the Dodgers. He's got a chip on his shoulder and wants to deliver for this fan base. What I'll be doing today is loving on the boys and trying to ask them, hey, do you got the best 30-inning run of your life in front of you? I believe you do. Your stuff says you do. Execute, and next thing you know, you've thrown 30, 40 innings for this team, and you're an MVP of the World Series and the best free agent on the market. Same thing with the hitters, right? You got a 50 at-bat run in you, the best of your life, best 50 at-bats you've ever thought about having. Tons of them are going to be walks. Some of them are going to be strikeouts. But if we get in that mentality, and I believe Schulte and the coaching staff has our guys there, we get in, we're not scared. And you just said it. You go win 2 of 3 and then get in that Milwaukee series. They've been sitting. You feel like you're hot. End up beating Milwaukee. We get to a 7-game set. Big advantage with our bullpen depth that we will be featuring versus anyone else. So we'll take our chances. I believe this is our year, and I will until it's our last breath.
Oh, I love my hair on my
Jake,
arm just stood up.
We're fired up. We're ready to go.
Every time we have you on, every single time, whether it's because you were going into the Padres Hall of Fame or it's opening day or we're at fantasy camp, I'm reading the comments right now in live time. Like you get everybody so fired up.
Everyone's ready to run through a wall,
ourselves included.
Well, I appreciate it. That's just, at this point in time, it's a mindset. It's a belief. It is something that you get down in, inside you, and you understand we're going to get our teeth kicked in. We just did the other day. We lost Laureano. Absolutely stinks with what that man's brought to this team. He's devastated. The team's devastated. It happens along the way. You get kicked in the teeth. Next man up. Sheetsy, O'Hearn, big at-bats are coming versus lefties now. Bryce Johnson, you're going to be in some big-time moments late in games. Get it back even that you never thought was coming. Let's get ready for it and be prepared. And This team's deep. If AJ doesn't make the moves that he made at the trade deadline, none of us feel the way we feel right now that we have a real legitimate chance with this roster to win.
All right, but let me ask you, Jake. It's one thing to want it, and it's another thing to go out and do it. And I think you've got a unique perspective to offer here because you have had playoff success. You've won a World Series. You've had playoff failure. Personally, you've had good games. You've had struggles in the playoffs. What's the difference? What's the secret sauce when you get to the postseason to give yourself the best chance, at least, of success when you get there?
There's no secret sauce. The secret sauce is getting it down deep, that you believe that your team can do it. It starts there, because if you don't believe that you can win the World Series, you're not going to accidentally end up there and winning it. You got to have a plan of attack. And that plan of attack, it's the very same game. We just really pay attention to execution and playing the game the right way in the postseason. A walk, bad play for the defense, well, that's a rally in the postseason. And so you walk a bunch of guys in a start, it's glaring, in a game, whereas in a regular season game, a starter can walk 4 guys sometimes. It's not even really thought about. That's not the case. Getting guys over, getting guys in. You just have to get that mindset and play your absolute rear end off for 27 outs and together. There's not a whole lot of time. There can't be any negative stuff around the team. You got anything negative that happens, you got to put it behind you and roll on. Next shot mentality, and then next day mentality. All you got to do is win 13 before we lose 13. It's not quite that easy. We can't lose 6 in a row and then go hot. But this team started 14-3. You mean to tell me we can't go on that run? So, yeah, it's just getting hot. And, on the offensive side of the ball, I think the guys have to have their bats. I think when you see some guys start to struggle in the postseason, I had immense struggles in the postseason. Not saying this with any kind of pride, but I just learned experience. At bats, you just have to take the at bat that you're given, the game gives you. A lot of times you do not pitch to the best hitter in that lineup. Yep. That means he has to walk 3 times that night and not go 0 for, with swinging at balls out of the zone. Aaron Judge, even Manny at times has struggled in the postseason. It's because they're not getting pitches to hit to, and they want to make something happen. The moment's pushing them there. And next thing you know, they swung at 2-3 balls outside the zone, got themselves in trouble.
I'm like coming out of my skin right now. I'm ready to just go throw in the parking
World
lot.
Series parade back on.
You guys are getting me way too fired up too early. We got a long Friday ahead.
Of course, Paul, we don't have a game this weekend. I was ready to give the whole speech on Sunday, but Pete, we love you, man. Thank you so much for your time today. Tell the fellas we said hello. It's going to be awesome to have you down there chatting them up and loving on them, as you call it. And I love that. And man, any chance we get to talk to you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna leave it with this. Look, I just said it. There's no time for negativity. I know that we're going to critique and talk about this and that, but us as a fan base create the energy, create the talk. Let's believe as a group outside of the clubhouse. That's our job as fans, as staff, to love on and believe and tell them they are going to do it.
Jake, really appreciate it. That was awesome.
You guys having me.
Friar Friday. What a Friar Friday finale. The regular season with Jake Peavey. And
I need a cigarette right now. I swear.
By the way, that was directed at the end. That was directed toward you all in the YouTube stream, listening right now on the app. He was talking to some of the doomers out there who go, hey, I'm DeLoriano. I don't think they can do it. Going on the road, Cubs, they can't do it. No time for negativity, says Jake Peavey. And that's from the fans, not the players. He needs positivity from the fan base right now. That's from Jake Peavey.
I'm going to project it.
That was awesome. I love that guy.
That was so good.
All right, we'll come back. Final hour. We'll talk more Padres. Get you ready for the series this weekend against the Diamondbacks. Paulie's got a round of report Thursday night football. Another good one last night. They just keep coming in prime time. It's all next. Ben Woods on the Fan. Final hour of the regular season edition of Ben and Woods, because when we're back on Monday morning, season will be over and it'll be time for the playoffs.
Thanks for hanging with us all year, everybody. It has been a grindy year, as the skipper himself said. Been a grindy year for us. Been a grindy year for a lot of us personally out there. Been a grindy year for fans. Just a really interesting season of Padres baseball. But culminates with a postseason appearance, and again, a real shot right now. I was just reading. I saw somebody did a little piece on Shota Imanaga. Ben, he's given up 2 home runs in like his last 6 starts or something. So I think it was Dontrell Willis who was doing the analysis. He's like, I don't even know that this guy's going to get a start in the postseason, like in the first round. I really don't know. Cade Horton is another guy that you may have to look at. He's coming back off of
He's had an ERA under 2 in his last 7 or 8 starts, I think.
Who? Cade Horton.
Yeah.
I think he had like an oblique. They were being really careful with it. So I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Zach wants to know if we think there will be a watch party somewhere on Tuesday's games. We don't know yet. That's the thing is, man.
So we don't know when the games are.
We don't know when the games are, so we can't.
Still, it's not ridiculous that they can even host those
Correct.
games. We don't know.
Here.
Padres have to win 2.
Yeah.
Cubs have to lose 2.
Right.
Minimum.
And so it makes it difficult to plan. I told my wife yesterday, I go, hey, just a reminder, next week I'm here, but I'm not really here. I don't know. Like, you can't, if you're booking things in the middle of the day or whatever, please remember, I may be at a watch party somewhere. I may be, down at Baja Rick's. I have no idea. So I'm not saying don't count on me. You can count on me. I'll be there at night. But other than that, I don't know what my days are going to look like yet.
Just a reminder, our crew will be at Baja Rick's today. Braden, Gwen, and Chris starting from 10 all the way until Padres baseball tonight, courtesy of Santo Tequila, which is Sammy Hagar's tequila brand. We're going to give away some tickets to Sammy Hagar's show. If you missed our interview with Sammy Hagar, you can go back and check it out from our first hour of the program. It was really fun to get to talk to the Red Rocker. It was also really fun to get to talk to Jake Peavey in our last segment. I thought what he said about the playoff mentality made a lot of sense. You if you're a pitcher, do I have the best 30-inning run of my life right now? If I'm a batter, 50 at-bats, over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks, can I lock in and put together? I mean, they're all professionals who have gotten to this level because at some point they have been locked in, and they have
for a good period of time.
The ball has looked like a beach ball. Every pitcher looks like they're thrown in slow motion when you're at the plate. And if you're a pitcher, they've gone through stretches where, I haven't allowed a run in the last, 3 months, essentially. They've all done it. Can they do it and find it now in the playoffs against the best competition there is, under the brightest of lights, under the highest of pressure? Here's what you find out what you're made of.
I don't think it's too much to ask for Manny and Tatis to each go 40 for 50. I don't think that's a lot to ask.
You'll line out a couple of times.
What's that batting average? 40
800.
for 50. 800. You saying you can't?
It's pretty much Tatis's postseason career average, I think.
It's fair.
It's like a 1,300 OPS or
just
something.
Just a nice, cool 40 for 50. 17
Not that hard, guys.
Not that big a deal. You get paid a lot of money to
Against
do it.
Every ace in the league that you have
and
to
every
face.
Bullpen, stud. I think we can do it. Stranger, no, nothing stranger than that has ever happened. We have somebody going 40 for 50 in a postseason World Series run.
Also have our college football lineup, our Stink Fist coming up at 9:20 this morning. And Woods has requested some flubs of the week that we haven't played in a while.
Oh, I missed it.
So we've got that to look forward to as well. I do have an update for you. Somewhat good news for Team USA. They actually pulled out the last match this morning. Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele, a 2-up win over Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland. It was the only win, though, for the U.S., down 3-1 after the morning alternate shot foursomes. They will come back with new lineups in, probably an hour or so and start the 4-ball matches, which is best ball. So different format this afternoon, but now some catch-up for Team USA to do at Bethpage Black. All of our sports talk on the Fan presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. And let's get started right now with our Rindle Report. And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. Happy Friday, gentlemen. It's the Reindl Report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. We will start off in the NFL, Thursday Night Football last night. Don't know if you guys got a chance to watch much of it. Had the game on, was paying attention through the first couple quarters, and then I don't know, it's kind of a boring game for the most part until the fourth quarter. Seattle had a pretty commanding lead entering the fourth quarter.
It's like 17-6.
Yeah, 17-6. I mean, Arizona was getting booed off the field by their home fans.
Yeah, they
I
were.
mean, the offense, it was terrible, especially in the first half. And this thing was all Seattle. And then Arizona stormed back. They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. They ended up tying the game with this incredible drive under a couple of minutes to go. They scored with, I can't remember, 30 seconds,
30 seconds,
right around
30,
there.
25, 30. Yep.
And they had the dilemma, all right, do we go for the win, go for 2 here and win 21-20, or just tie it and take our chances in OT? They ended up kicking the extra point. They're tied, but there was still some time left. Seattle had 1 timeout remaining, and it got a little interesting because we've got a bunch of new rules with kickoffs this year. If you've watched any of the NFL, you've probably noticed there's been a lot more kickoff returns than you've seen in the past, and that's by design. There's a landing zone. I want to say it's from like the receiving end of the field. It's like the 20-yard line back to the end zone. The ball has to land in that zone off the kickoff. So Arizona ties the game, 30 seconds left. They're trying to run a few extra seconds off for Seattle. So they do like the line drive squib kick.
Yep.
And it landed at like the 30 or the 25-yard line and then bounced into the landing zone. But because it did not initially land there, immediately dead ball, flag goes out, and Seattle ends up getting the ball on the 40, which means with like 25, 30 seconds left, they only needed 15, 20 yards to be in field goal range. They did. They ended up getting right down there in the middle of the field with a run play, called a timeout, hit the game winner. I would imagine a lot of Cardinals fans probably upset with that new rule.
I saw some lividity going around. I don't know if that's a word or not, but it sounds like it should be. Lividness. I like lividity.
I like
better.
lividity too.
The lividity, if it's a word or not, if it's not, it should be about that rule. Like, oh, cool, we just lost the game because our kicker can't stick it in a certain slot on a kickoff. Well, you lost the game too because your defense was a little bit soft, letting them march down the field. Albeit a much shorter distance, but went down and were able to kick the game away.
I was watching really some of the game last night when I got home, and it's not like either team was super impressive. Yeah, but with the road win and Sam Darnold's Seahawks getting to 3-1 and the 49ers now dealing with tons of injuries, and they got that divisional now road win, they can certainly stick around for a chance at the playoffs later this year. Sure. I like the Rams most in that division now, though. That's the team that I think is the my favorite now in the NFC West.
That's all I got on the sports front. I do have this is weird, an update on a Reindl Report story from like 2 years ago, I think. Do you guys remember, talked about Florida woman, this was a couple of years ago now, who was suing Hershey's chocolate company because of the pumpkin-shaped Reese's peanut butter cups.
I remember the face.
She claimed in her lawsuit that they were falsely advertised, that the pumpkins have cool carved faces and designs into the chocolate.
It looked like a blob.
And she got hers, and it just looked like a regular piece of Reese's chocolate.
Yeah, it didn't have the stem on it. It didn't have the pumpkin
the jack-o'-lantern face that you see on the package. like it looks into the peanut
Right.
butter in the middle, but in the actual, it's just a big solid blob of chocolate.
This is something my wife would complain about. Just FYI.
Would she sue Hershey's for $5 million?
Do you know that there is she got like a cease and desist essentially online from DoorDash because she sends things aren't right so much that she'll be like, nope, there's no extra ice in my drink, and I asked for extra ice. And so she complains.
How much ice is extra ice?
It's a bad
I know.
example,
Okay,
but
fine.
you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want tomatoes on it. You put tomatoes on it. So she sends back to get like the complaint. And they're
maybe
like,
a
you're done.
credit to the
You're
account.
yeah, your limit is done. You are not allowed to do it anymore. They finally let her back in. They finally let her after like 6 months. And then recently we got something. She's like, this is wrong. I go, they're going to get you again. They're going to get you again.
Shouldn't you be able to complain as long as they keep getting it wrong? You should be able to keep complaining.
Yes. I fundamentally, I agree with her. Like, it wasn't the way you asked for it to happen. But even they were like, it's enough, lady. Like, it does. Could you scam? Could you scam somehow? You probably
So what's the update on the woman?
So the
here?
update,
Hold
the
on.
reason why this was in the news today is that, yes.
She won.
Florida woman did not win.
Oh, they threw it out.
She did not win. It wasn't just the carving on the candies. She just said in general, they seemed more spooky on the wrapper than what she actually got when she
I wanted
opened
it spooky.
Make it spooky.
Make it spooky.
Out your own spin on it. So just recently, a judge dismissed the lawsuit. Judge ruled that plaintiffs failed to prove any concrete economic injury, and the products were not rendered worthless. In other words,
still tasted delicious.
Do you mind?
You went to law school for that to defend that lady? That's what you went to law school for?
In commercials, they make food look much better than it really is.
They always do.
Food styling is like a very intricate job.
Oh,
They take like the Jumbo Jack where they slap some cheese on it and
Yeah.
they show it to you on television.
Oh.
It's not going to look like your Jumbo Jack that you get wrapped in the paper from Jack in the Box. And that's okay for me.
The Big Mac, the 6-inch tall Big
They have
Mac.
tricks. They like push it over to the side. Like if you looked at the back of that burger, because it has to be the actual food.
Right.
Or that's illegal. You can't like, oh, we're putting different meats and different everything on it and showing it to you, and that's bait and switch. So they take the actual burger, but then they have these food stylists who make it look absolutely perfect. They find the most mouth-watering tomato, the crispest lettuce,
Little drizzle of ketchup coming down the side.
Perfect amount of cheese and ketchup. The burger kind of sticks out a little bit, so it looks a little bit bigger. But it's all the actual stuff. But they make it look so much better on the television commercial. Well, that's what they did on the Reese's Pieces, the Reese's Pumpkin package.
Yeah,
made it look a little nicer and more appetizing. Now they could say, "Hey, carve your own little face into the pumpkin.
Let's make
Whatever.
it fun.
Make it fun."
Keep It Real says it's all wax. Is that true?
It's not all wax. It has to be the real food.
You're a sweet kid.
It's supposed to be.
Real sweet
It's
kid, but you
no.
believe
They
that.
will add like some glisten and stuff
Yeah.
to make it like the meat glisten a little bit more.
So what do you do for a living?
Food stylist.
Yeah.
So it's a real
I
profession.
bet those photographers, I bet they make a ton of money
yeah.
in that.
Yet I still can't find one to make me look halfway attractive
sometimes the
after all these
food-
years.
Like
You're not a
when
Big
you-
Mac.
When
That's
you
true.
go to a restaurant, they have like it in a glass case, and they'll show you like what the food
Yeah, that's
is
fake.
on a plate. That can be fake.
Yeah.
I believe that's not real all the time.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, Florida woman tried. She did not succeed in her suing Hershey's for $5 million. That made me laugh. I totally wouldn't have remembered it. And then I saw that story. I was like, I know we talked about this. And then finally, I guess I got a little audio here. I'm just curious how this sounds. I haven't really heard it myself, but Linkin Park's In the End from their original album Hybrid Theory came out in 2000, one of my favorite albums of all time. In the End, their single from that album has been transformed into a lullaby that hit album streaming platforms today.
Okay.
And I only heard a little bit of it, and I was able to maybe make out a little of In the End. If you had a newborn, does this work for a lullaby to scratch that 2000s rock itch?
There it is. To lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, yeah.
I tried so. Hell yeah.
So it's like their whole album.
The whole
I think
album
is what it says here.
of
Yeah.
The whole Linkin Park album
turned into lullabies.
They do that. It's
not bad.
It's kind of cool. I just play the real stuff for my kids even since they were born.
Put them right to sleep.
Right to sleep. 7 words by Deftones. That's sweet. I just somebody just told me, "Well, do you want you to go and look up lividity?" It's not what you think. It doesn't mean an act of people being very mad,
Livid.
like people being mad,
Extra
and
livid.
It said lividity, also known as postmortem lividity or hypostasis,
right.
is a reddish purple discoloration of the skin that occurs after death.
You see that in the crime shows where they go to the
Lividity.
autopsy and like lividity is set in, rigor mortis and lividity.
I think we missed the boat on that.
Huh.
I don't think that's what we were.
That's not what I meant.
meaning.
No.
Thank you, Paulie.
Although when you are livid, you turn kind of red.
You do turn reddish and
turn
purplish.
reddish and
That's good.
purple
That's a
because
good
you're
point.
mad. So I can sort of see that. All right, Paulie, thank you very much for the Rydell Report. This hour on Ben and Woods is brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. Got an interesting twist on our Super Sexy Saturday Stinkfist College football lineup. We'll get that to you coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, as we head into the weekend, it is not too late to sign up for the SDFatLoss.com $200 off special. And if you do it right now and start losing the weight, up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in 60 days, we'll be at Thanksgiving and you'll be a brand new you in 60 days. And you'll do it without any injections, without exercise, and eating real foods. I ate foods I liked. First time I've ever been on a weight loss program where I got to eat foods I actually did like. Yeah, it's not cheeseburgers every day, but I enjoyed what I ate, and I lost the weight quickly. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and because I wasn't relying on boxed meals or shakes or bars, I was able to keep the weight off. I've kept the weight off for more than 2 years. It is a difference maker. They will help you. They will coach you. Your counselor, your coach will get you through it. Just schedule your free consultation by going to sdfatloss.com. This is, again, perfect time of year to take advantage of the $200 off special. Just mention my name, Ben from Ben and Woods. And again, no exercise necessary to lose the weight and lose it fast. Join my colleagues. Join all the tier ones who have already lost so much weight around San Diego by scheduling your free consultation at sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Just a reminder. Finally, got me. You told me flubs are coming, so I thought I'd just start dropping them in for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it's
you can join 97.3 The Fan as we get you ready for the final home series of the regular season. The Braden Soprenet Show and Gwen and Chris will broadcast live at Baja Ricks today from 10 a.m. to 5:40. Leading into Padres pregame, we'll be giving away baseballs signed by Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr., as well as tickets to tomorrow's game. It's all brought to you by our new friends at Santo Tequila. Baja Ricks will have a special game day menu with Santo Tequila margaritas and cocktails. Join us today at Baja Ricks, located at 176th Avenue, right by Petco Park. And again, that starts in 36 minutes from now on the Braden Soprenet Show.
You okay?
Yeah, I am good. Right. You want to get to a Saturday Stinkfist college football lineup?
Get to it.
All right.
Stinkfist, anytime I can.
So kind of an entry, if you're looking for college football action tomorrow, kind of an interesting day because there are a lot of good games, but if you want, you can really keep it all in the Big Ten the entire way through, starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow with an early good game. It is the number 21 USC Trojans visiting number 23 Illinois on Fox. Now, Lincoln Riley has said this week he's not happy about the Big Ten scheduling. They gave him the very late game on Saturday last week. Now they have the very early game at Illinois this week.
Does he ever not piss and moan about something? Well, I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
As someone said, well, it would be crazy to find like 11 other West Coast schools
Imagine
to play in a
that.
conference together. I mean, he couldn't do that. So
God forbid.
You've kind of made your own bet on this one
Bro,
in terms of scheduling.
What did you think was going to happen? Lincoln.
So Illinois trying to bounce back after they got bodied by Indiana last week. So that's an early game. Then at 12:30, I didn't pick your game.
Why? We're ranked.
You are ranked.
Okay.
I picked
number 22 Notre Dame at Arkansas.
I picked number 1.
9 a.m. on ABC.
I picked number 1. Well, Notre Dame's already out of it.
No, they're not.
Kind of.
No, they're not.
Kind of.
What if Miami wins, and what if the teams keep
winning?
winning?
If you win the next 7 or 8 games,
you gotta win out.
We can revisit Notre Dame.
I'm going to add
I'm
my
not
own
do it right
stink
now.
fist.
Number 1, Ohio State at Washington up in Seattle on ABC at 12:30. OSU obviously favored, but only by a touchdown, 7.5. Washington has won 22 straight home games.
Crazy.
So kind of a sneaky, dangerous game for the Buckeyes at 12:30.
Oh boy, the big one.
And then at 4:30. Well,
Wait,
there's 2 big ones. There's 2 giant games at 4:30.
What about LSU Ole Miss?
Well, that's a big one too. I'm sticking with the Big Ten theme though.
Paulie, just want you to know I'm taking over the stink fist from now on. He's just ripping through these big games.
And then 4:30, number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State on NBC and Peacock.
You know you can pick as many games. We didn't hold you to pick
I'm trying
your
to pick
favorite
one.
3.
I thought I had to pick one each time.
No.
Of course, that's opposite the Alabama-Georgia game.
Give me the good ones
at 4:30. These are all good games.
Have you not seen the news about the LSU Ole Miss game? How Lane Kiffin's daughter is now dating a linebacker from LSU.
I did see that.
This
Fair
is
enough.
insane. It's insane.
All right, I did see that. Lane Kiffin's daughter.
Yeah, and they're favored. Mississippi is favored by 1.5 against number 4 LSU. Brian Kelly, full of lividity. My definition and the real definition.
I was just kind of go theme, try to do it all Big Ten this week.
You overthink it. Just give me the good games.
Kirk Herbstreit was actually mad that they've scheduled the Oregon-Penn State game
dumb.
Opposite the Alabama-Georgia game, so people can't watch both of those really at the same time unless they have 2 screens. Clearly, though, the Oregon-Penn State game is more important, right? Alabama has already got a loss.
Yeah.
These are 2 undefeated teams. The winner, clear early favorite to at least reach the Big Ten championship game, maybe against Ohio State. So I've got to say the Oregon-Penn State is one of the most important September games of the entire schedule here in college football, and even more important than Alabama-Georgia.
And just so people don't think I'm holding a grudge, the San Diego State Aztecs are on the road at Northern, who did beat my beloved Fighting Irish last year on our way to the national championship game, Ben.
Even after a 34-0 win over Cal last week, it's not like SDSU is a big favorite in this game.
They're still a road favorite, though, at -1.5. So, Aztecs on the road.
That game will
DeKalb.
be aired on ESPN.
.711.org.
Plus ESPN Plus streaming option for you on 12:30.
Have you guys gotten the new ESPN bit? Did you sign up for it yet?
Probably going to here soon.
So I am about to do, because Paulie went through his Costco story about switching, and we're thinking about doing the same and exploring some of the details and deals. When I do that, I'm going to reset all of my streams. Like, you get some offer, complimentary HBO Max, some offer different deals. So we're going to see what deals we can get.
Okay.
And then I want to reset everything as soon as that happens.
Do it's kind of like an autopsy of all of the things that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. So that may include the new ESPN, or maybe
I hope he's
still get what we have with Disney. I'm not sure.
I hope he's not listening, but our boss signed up for MLB TV, right? And he gave us a login.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been able to log in like a month.
It hasn't worked in a month.
I'm getting all of them, but I have no idea how I'm logged in or who I'm logged in as.
Did he give out too many passwords?
They've got to limit it, right?
I would imagine.
It worked all year.
It worked and then all of a sudden
like within the last couple of weeks, MLB TV, you can't even log in.
So then
like my old account that I'm not paying for the current services, but I still have like the MLB TV account. It won't work.
There was a game on the other night.
I get a red error message every single time.
I think it was the Dodger game, or some people were like,
sometimes the Dodgers get blacked out.
No, it wasn't. It didn't say blackout. It wanted when
somebody in the chat says MLB forced everyone to reset passwords.
Oh,
so he didn't. He must not have done it. Okay.
Or there's a new password and you need to get.
You have to get a login link. God, man, they are.
Figure that out.
All right. Well, so I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, there's a couple. This is a couple weeks ago, right? And I'm like, there's a couple of weeks left. Do I really want to Can I just ride it out? Because I'm not going to need it for the playoffs. I have cable. Cox,
Yeah,
as you know.
everything-
My Cox will be great.
At this
Fired
point,
up.
they should give it to you for like $4, right?
100%, right?
What's left of the
This is
season.
like $69.99 or something. Like there's a
No,
week
I don't want to pay that
left.
much left. This season's almost over.
I like your idea of the autopsy of everything that you have. It would take us a month to do it, but I think it's a valuable exercise.
I
do.
hear ads for like some sort of
I know,
app that
I know.
supposedly does it for you. I don't see how without you putting in all your passwords and everything already, which is what you hate doing
right
to begin with.
Follow up here. There was an article in The Athletic that said hackers gained access to MLB ballpark accounts and sold and transferred tickets from people unknowingly. I missed all of that.
I missed all of
That could have been a DDT.
Yeah,
I
big
did
time.
not see that.
Could have done a whole segment on that.
Okay.
All right. Interesting.
All right, it's time to give away some tickets to Sammy Hagar without Light's sake at Dolby Live at Park MGM Las Vegas. No, if you want to see Sammy Hagar in concert at his residency in Las Vegas, just call right now. Fifth caller at 833-288-0973 is going to win tickets for the show on March 20th. Just tickets for the show. Can't give you a whole vacation package this time, but hey, if you can get there or you know someone who's there, this is a great prize. 833-288-0973. You can get your tickets to see Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live at Ticketmaster.com.
Real quick before we go to last break, wanted to tell you about EcoWater SoCal. Was driving through the neighborhood yesterday. I've been telling you guys, I've been seeing the EcoWater like trucks in my neighborhood. I saw a competitor yesterday, and I gave him the mean mug as I drove by. Like, this isn't good. It's not the same thing. We have the EcoWater system. The EcoWater system is the best. It is the best water that you can drink. And I thought, man, I really want to go knock on my neighbor's door and let him know you're not spending your money in the right place. You're really not, because EcoWater, not only they've been doing this longer than anybody, they are the innovators of the game. Okay, they have changed the game as it pertains to water. Let them come out, do a free in-home test of your water, and you'll see, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been washing my food and fruit and pets and kids in this water. Let EcoWater come out, put the system in. You'll be so happy that you did. It's about better water for everything that you use it for. Their reverse osmosis system, again, gives you bottle quality water straight from the tap, right from the tap. Alkaline filters, you add those, your hydration gets the healthiest boost. That's what we drink in our home. That's what we will always drink in our home. Try the Soft Life and alkaline water now. Just $9.95 a month, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
I'm sorry.
Are
I was
you?
I was concentrating on something.
Like
you
what?
know me.
What were you concentrating on?
I had to send an email alerting the Channel 10 staff of my plans to go cover the Right to Dream Academy opening. I'll be there from 11 to 2. It's a long event this morning. So
11 to 2?
Yeah, it's like a 3-hour event.
What do you do?
So they're giving
There's a seminar
tours.
or something?
No, well, so the Right to it's like a school
I know what
and
that
academy.
is.
So they're going to give tours, and then they have all the dignitaries like the MLS commissioner
Okay.
and the owner, the Egyptian owner of MLS, and the Squan owners are going to be there. Manny, I think, is supposed to be there.
Nice.
So got a lot of people going to do media interviews and sessions. I got to shoot stand-ups and everything.
Tell
when I'm there.
Manny.
It's busy.
Tell Manny when you see him that Paulie, our producer, said, shouldn't Manny be in the cages right now?
I will tell him
Okay.
that.
All right.
Should Manny play it all this week?
Don't say that. I didn't say that.
Should Manny?
You just said that.
Should Manny play it all this weekend?
Yeah. He's going to get a stroke down.
It was suggested by, I think, Kevin Acey yesterday. A lot of people think Manny just needs like 4 or 5 days off.
Potentially. I think Jeremiah Estrada should not pitch this weekend. I think I'd like to see him at 5-7 days rest. He looks a little bit cashed, but you need to get outs when you need them.
So this is the big thing. And these games could mean some stuff this weekend.
So I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of teams run into this every year. Right? There are teams fighting for their lives. The noble and proper thing to do, if you're the San Diego Padres, is to put out the best lineup as you see fit.
Respect the game.
Respect the game.
Respect the Reds and the Mets who are trying for that last wild card spot, with the Diamondbacks also battling for it.
Correct. So you owe baseball, the baseball gods, if you will, a good lineup. But the thing is, when you have a lineup like ours, you're going to have some good players in it, because you don't have 40 guys on the roster that could just...
You can't sit everybody anyway.
It's not going to be Tyler Wade and a bunch of spares and scrubs up there.
Oh, I forgot about Tyler Wade.
I miss him
entirely.
Miss him every day. That was Matt Scraby's MVP early in the season. Don't forget that. Chris Ello likes to remind him of that all the time. But listen, you owe it to the game to put out a good lineup. That being said, Manny Machado should sit some. I do like the idea of Xander playing.
I think everybody's sitting at least one game.
Because Xander, he has a broken foot in his foot. A broken bone in his foot. So I'm okay getting him some rest, but he also needs some reps. Jake Cronenworth's played a lot this year. I mean, you do owe it to them to put out a decent lineup. And I don't think any team is unable to put out a decent lineup because they don't have 40 guys on there anymore. So I think it's kind of a moot point.
I think there could be a real potential dilemma for Mike Schilt this weekend, and I will explain it coming up right after our last check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Get Rust Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Both ways on the 5, you are just loaded up by La Jolla Village Drive. On the northbound side, there's a collision. It's blocking the left lane. And on the southbound side, you have a car fire, and it's off on the shoulder, but lots of fire department activity. And then we have another collision involving a motorcycle. This one is on the westbound side of the 76 at North River Road. Your hunt for the perfect breakfast sandwich is over. Jack in the Box's Sourdough Scramblers, starting at $3.49, comes with toasted sourdough, scrambled eggs, melty cheese, and your choice of hickory smoked bacon or grilled sausage. Then does you one better by being available all day. I'm Sue Aller, Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
By the way, congratulations to Anthony, who won the Sammy Hagar tickets in our last segment. So, Cubs play a day game today, which is interesting. 11:20 start this morning against the St. Louis Cardinals. Miles Michael is pitching against Colin Ray. If the Cubs win, their magic number to clinch home field advantage is down to 1. Tough to chase after the 1. But if the Cubs lose this game, all of a sudden the pathway to home playoff games becomes quite open for the Padres. If they could win tonight and make up one game, they could go into this weekend just one game back. And all you have to do is finish tied with the Cubs. But the question then becomes, how hard do you go after it? I mean, you've got Yu Darvish and Michael King scheduled to pitch these first 2 games. What do you do on Sunday if you're a game
Randy
back?
Vasquez.
What do you do on Sunday if you're tied? Is it Randy Vasquez going for the home playoff? How hard do you go with your bullpen guys? Do you need to lock down a 1-run win if it clinches a home playoff series?
I mean, we don't think Randy Vasquez is probably pitching in a 3-game series next week?
Bro, Dylan Cease might not pitch.
Well, okay, so either one.
So
that's who's pitching Sunday.
Hold on. Because Kevin Acey made a good point as well. Remember, the ghost runner, the Manfred man, goes away in the playoffs. Randy Vasquez may be your 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th inning guy. The starter that you need to save in case an extra inning game goes on forever and ever. He's stretched out. He's clutch. He's nailed. That sounds like the perfect role, actually, for Randy Vasquez in a wild card series. You save him for a game. No one's scoring. We're here. It's the 12th inning. It's the 13th inning. You've gone through your bullpen high leverage arms. You need someone to pitch 4 or 5 innings in the extra innings. That could be Randy Vasquez's role.
Can't think of anybody
else. But if
else.
he pitches on Sunday, he might not be able to do that for you on Tuesday if you needed it. So do you pitch a Randy Vasquez on Sunday?
Man. Well, again, you'll know more today. You'll know more before your game starts.
You will. And if the Cubs win, I don't think it's a huge dilemma.
If they lose,
all of a sudden
it's a
you
dilemma.
have some strategic choices that you're going to have to make. How valuable are those home games? You were really good at home this season. You weren't
they're
that
valuable.
good on the road.
I mean,
they're
there's
valuable,
no question
but
they're
are
valuable.
they so valuable that
you're
you
going to
might
burn Mason Miller
some
on a
pitching?
Sunday?
I mean, they'll all get Monday off no matter what. But you don't necessarily want him having pitched Saturday and Sunday, for instance.
Correct.
And then having to come back, and because you might need him Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That would be 5 games in 6 days. That's too much for a reliever. So you can't really use him this weekend, but it would be great to get those home games.
It would.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a dilemma there.
All right. Well, again, not going to worry about things that haven't happened yet. I'll start to worry after the Cubs lose today. If they lose today, that's when the real fun kicks in for Padres fans. And again, though, that's kind of beside the point. You still need to put out a good lineup and give the Arizona Diamondbacks your best effort. Do you not? Isn't that kind of expected? Mike Schultz is about as old school as it gets.
I really don't think it is. It's something that talking heads say. But I think
other managers say
no,
it.
I think they wish it would happen, but they all know if they were in the Padres situation that they would be resting their players. They've earned that right. The Padres have earned the right to rest guys to get ready for the postseason.
You saw it a little bit last night. The Chicago White Sox, who have lost 100 games, right? They're walking Aaron Judge intentionally twice. Is that Bush?
A little bit.
I think so too.
But they're not resting for the playoffs or anything. Go hard if you're the White Sox and try to spoil. That's all you've got left. The Padres have more left. If the Padres were done and eliminated, then I'd say, yeah, they owe other teams a good lineup. But because the Padres are in the playoffs, they don't owe anybody anything.
I feel like you're angering the baseball gods if you punt. If you roll over.
You're not punting, but I don't
You're still
think
throwing you
I don't
Darvish.
think you can use all of your best relievers this weekend. In fact, I know you can't.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
You absolutely should not. Even if home field advantage is a possibility, home field advantage is not worth losing relievers over.
You guys want some food?
Sure, we got food.
Yeah, food.
Oh, yes.
Woodsy is going. We had a special delivery this morning that Woods is going to go pick that up for us. Again, Braden and Gwen and Chris going to be live from Baja Ricks. If you're interested in getting some food of your own out of Baja Ricks today, and it's all brought to you by Santo Tequila. That's Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri's tequila brand. They're going to have some special cocktails out there for you. But what do we have here? Oh, I know that logo. I know that logo. My kid's absolute favorite.
How you doing, guys?
Texas Roadhouse is in the house.
They're just bringing us food. It was just a completely random surprise. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming in. What did you bring us?
Fresh barbecue pulled pork.
Ooh, barbecue pulled pork.
Some of our fresh baked bread. And we also got
some sweet tea.
Right. Bread, pork.
You guys mind if I take this with me?
That's fine. You love sweet tea. You're so southern.
I covet
I'm
the
more of
sweet
an
tea.
unsweetened tea guy myself, so you can have all the sweet tea you want.
Dude, thank you so much for doing that. So
Thank you,
sweet.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone's filling the Karma Cup, right? With
Why not?
playoffs coming up.
Why
You're-
not?
You're the best, man. Thank you so much.
Our chat is very jealous.
I know
Texas
they are.
Roadhouse,
Texas Roadhouse at
9:47
9:47
a.m.
All right, let's get a roll. Everyone get a roll. We can all toast with a roll.
Can I get some of the honey? The
Okay, you want to do early flubs while we?
Yeah, early flubs.
All right, we're
while
gonna
we
play the
suck
flubs
down
while
some-
we start eating, and then we'll come back to wrap things up after our flubs here.
Look at that.
Demetrius Jamel Moran.
Yeah, Jaws a nickname.
Jaws short.
What's a nickname?
Griff Whalen. Did he catch a touchdown patch fed?
No.
I am off today. I am off today. Carlos Beltran. When he got
Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran. Craig Elston, our SDCCU fan hotline. San Diego County Credit Union has larger. Oh,
Be able to quit your second jobs, the jobs that you do, just like
Your side
make
gig.
end meets.
Yeah. What are end meets, by the way?
Isn't
To
that
make-
how you say it?
To make end meets.
To make the end meets.
Save that. It's like a hit song, but it sounds like Rosie O'Donnell is the singer.
Not Rosie O'Donnell.
I'm sorry. Rosie Perez. That's a flub.
This fun-filled day, an opportunity for dogs and dog lovers to have a tail-wagging good time, big-time college basketball, as it were. We have a concert prize package, pair of tickets to see Sammy Hagar with White Snake.
With who?
White Snake.
Oh my God. Another one.
But yeah, massage table still waiting for Matt Vasgersian. And flubs of the week. A lot of Padres fans have said, hey, can we lock Fernando Tatis Jr. up long term already? Feels good to get back to our regular stuff. Of course, the Rival Report continues. Day or shine. Night or day.
Day or shine. You're going to Princeton, you're graduating, and they say, hey, your commencement speaker is none other than.
What's a commencement?
Damn it. Every year
Now, Jace Tingler, he may be a whisperer.
Yeah. What is a whisperer?
Give Ballast Point a try once over again. It's a flub.
God.
It's a flub just in time for our flubs of the week. Give Ballast Point a try once and over again. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just have a beer. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports leader.
What?
Something.
Whoa,
97.3 The
Paul,
Fan.
that's a.
I've been up, done them in Arizona and Tucson. I went to Honda, Anaheim's Honda Center.
My God.
This is what Robert.
Oh,
Robert,
God.
Tom,
Oh,
Robert.
Because my house is it's insane. It's an insane asylum. That's a giant flub.
What you should be watching while you're stuck at home during our coronavirus. Never mind. By the way, SDCCU remains open. Rest assured, your funds are federal. Yeah. Dave Softy Mahler in Seattle as we do a coronavirus check-in.
What
in our tournament of drops, Woods? Got the last Elite eight man.
Let's get our first check of traffic with the great Kelly Danick right here on FM 94.9. Oh, my God.
Is basketball going to feel like basketball?
What is basketball, first of all?
I can't recommend it any less highly than I can the Dongs, which is always a dilemma on our SDCCU fan hotline. SDCCU
What is a fan hotline?
The segment of Ben Group. I've lost the ability to speak in the last moment.
Their beat writer, Ian Brown from MLD.
Oh.
Yes!
That's all, folks.
I mean, I missed it
All time.
so
good.
very, very much. I forgot how great those were. You have recovered nicely over the years. You really have.
Thank you.
Did you
The
drink
94.9 one.
This is so good. Kelly Danick on FM 94.9. Did you drink a lot back in the day?
Apparently. I think that's what 3.5 hours of sleep a night was just doing to me.
It's just
apparently.
wearing you down. You're much better now. Much better. I love the flubs. I forgot how brilliant they are. You're right. You know, you get tired of them. You hear the same ones over and over every week, and then you take a year off, and it's just the great.
Longer than that. Dude.
Longer than that.
They hit a little bit harder.
Years.
It's so good. Thank you to Texas Roadhouse. They brought us these delicious meals. You watched this.
God, these rolls.
If you're watching on YouTube, you saw us.
Not only do I sound like Porky Pig,
you're
I can eat Porky Pig.
Yeah,
right
you just
now.
had some.
It's delicious. Little pulled pork. Got boxes of these rolls. I mean, boxes of rolls.
It's very, very elite.
What's discipline? How many can you just eat? What's a discipline number? Two.
Right.
And then
2 more.
And then offer them to other people.
Zach,
thank you
for bringing them in.
Thank you guys.
I
for
really
bringing them
appreciate
in,
it.
yes.
Of course, guys. Of course. I do what I can for you guys. I mean, you guys have always been really great hosts for us, so we appreciate you guys. I know, Ben, you come to our text store.
I do up in Oceanside. Yeah, kids love that one.
Yeah, so Bernie and I.
You don't.
Even when they sing happy birthday very loudly.
Very loud.
That's
He
fine.
does.
I do feel like every single time that you come, though, they do a birthday, they do the song.
It's like 14 birthdays every night.
I'd like to prank him. The next time he comes in, make sure they do birthday the whole time he's there and film it and send it to me and Paulie.
Oh, next time I see him there, he's going to go on the saddle.
Yeah, on the saddle. Oh, yes.
We might have to go up there for lunch now.
Yes, you have my
That could be fun.
Instagram. You can DM me a picture of Ben
definitely.
on the saddle. Thank you for bringing this stuff in.
Of
It
course,
is
guys, I got
delicious. I haven't even eaten any of my rolls yet. I'm just savoring.
You're insane.
them.
I've already had a full one.
I'm
with,
savoring
with
them.
the cinnamon butter. Absolutely delicious.
Well, and the good news is no Braden and Frank are out at a remote, and this is all ours. We just take it with us.
Yeah, but they can't steal any of it from us. I know.
From us. So
I
we
know.
all
All
have
right,
our own-
that's it for us. That's
Yes.
it for this week. That's it for the regular baseball season. Because the next time we talk to you on Monday morning, it'll be over. We'll know when and where the Padres are playing on Tuesday, and it'll be time to lock in for the postseason. Woods.
Can't wait, dude. I cannot wait.
All
Thank
right.
you guys for hanging with us.
That is it for us. For executive producer Paul Reindl, for Stephen Woods, for Texas Roadhouse, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great weekend and rest of your Friday. From all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.